Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, October 29th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Chicago Bears, versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Sunday Night Football. What a wild weekend that we have had in sports. Man, I don't even know what to say. So many upsets, lots to talk about. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. And if you go down the scoreboard, I figured that this week would have the most trap games, maybe all season long. It felt like there was about 5 or 6 trap games. Some teams were down early, and they found a way to come back at the end, like the Philadelphia Eagles. Other teams, they fell into playing in mediocrity. Patrick Mahomes not playing that well, a little bit of a flu. Russell Wilson getting the big win, and a few other trap games that we'll discuss as well. Hope everyone is doing good. Toby in the building. What's good? Absolutely. And like I said, you mentioned, in years past, hey, how are we? Are we good? Are we good enough? And I kept telling you, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. But your team has arrived. You are one of the top 4 teams in the AFC, in my opinion. And I really think that you guys could win a playoff game, maybe 2. Who knows? It is possible that the Jags overachieve, and them or the Ravens possibly could be in the AFC Championship game against a team like the Chiefs, the Dolphins, or maybe some other team that emerges. I hope everyone is doing great. Let's go over some of the scores here today. And I've been working really hard today. I busted out 3 reaction videos as soon as they started posting them around 1:30. That's really when the afternoon games get started, but the morning games get completed. And I have to wait till about 1:30, 2 o'clock until they get posted from NFL.com. So I was only able to do 3 reaction videos, but I'm here tonight, obviously, for the Bears and the Chargers. I did do the Cowboys and Rams reaction video. I did the Saints and the Colts. Sarah's in Indy right now and went to that game. And then I also did the Eagles and the Commanders. So let's go over some of the scores here. We got Rams going against the Cowboys. We damn boys. Cowboys 43. Rams 20. I figured this could be a trap game for the Cowboys, but nah. CeeDee Lamb, Dak, the defense with a pick 6. Everything was going the Cowboys' way. Vikings 24, Packers 10. No surprise there. The Vikings, they did lose Kirk Cousins for the year, which is terrible for them. But obviously the defense is starting to play well. And then lo and behold, there goes Kirk Cousins with an injury out for the year. The Packers are terrible. All right, Titans 28, Falcons 23. I thought the Falcons might be able to, keep things moving after that Buccaneer victory a few weeks ago, but they weren't able to win on the road. And obviously, Derrick Henry and company and D-Hop were wearing those Houston Oiler throwbacks. And sometimes when you wear those throwbacks, it ends up getting you a victory. And the Titans got the victory this weekend. Saints 38, Colts 27. The Colts fought as much as they could, but once they got, towards that, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, Rashid Shaheed and company kind of nailed the door down and shut the door shut all the way with the nail in the coffin, as well as Alvin Kamara, AK-41. Dolphins 31, Patriots 17. No surprises there. Jets 13, Giants 10 in OT. Then we ended up having the Jags 20, Steelers 10. I picked the Jags to win in the matchup. Wasn't really too surprised there. Eagles 38, Commanders 31. You got Panthers 15, Texans 13. That game ended up being a little bit lower scoring than anticipated. Hawks 24, Browns 20. Big win for the Hawks wearing their throwback unis from the 90s. Broncos 24, Chiefs 9. One of the worst performances for the Kansas City Chiefs, but it happens. Anybody can beat anyone on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. And there was a flu going around, so Mahomes wasn't 100%, but still 9 points out of a team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. They got to be better. Ravens 31, Cardinals 24. You would assume that the Ravens would have won more by 7 points, but a win is a win. Nice job by the Ravens. Bengals 31, Niners 17, another elite team dropping the ball. And now we've seen multiple losses, 1 loss, 2 losses, 3 losses. The Niners are in trouble. If the defense can't get going, you're going to see the Seattle Seahawks on the top of the NFC West. but there's still a long ways to go. We love to react, overreact, underreact throughout the whole season, but definitely the Niners are sliding in the wrong direction and the Seahawks are trending upwards. I see you. And then obviously we have the Bills beating my Buccaneers 24-18 on Thursday, and we will be doing Raiders versus the Lions on Monday night, or World Series game number 3 with the Rangers versus the Diamondbacks. But I'm leaning towards doing the Raiders and the Lions. I want to see a little Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. I want to see some Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jared Goff and the Goffettes. Can't wait for David Montgomery and Jay Jetta to come back. I got blown out in fantasy this weekend, so now we have, I think, a 3 or 4-way tie at 6-2. But there's nothing I can do. You know, when the other team has got CeeDee Lamb and he puts up 40 plus, and a lot of my guys shit the bed. You know, it happens. You know, I'm not too worried, but I definitely need some better production on my fantasy lineup moving forward. Big facts. Let's go, baby. Toby in the building. What's good? A guy in the building. Raiders in the building. I honestly feel if Justin Fields was playing today, the Bears would have a shot. I legitimately think that. Him and DJ Moore, I think that he would have a shot. But since you don't have Justin Fields, I find it highly unlikely that they're going to be able to beat the Chargers, even though we know the Chargers are up and they're down, sometimes looking like a top 5 or top 10 team. And then other times the Chargers look like a bottom 5 team. Even with Herbert and Eckler and Keenan Allen and Bosa and Asante Samuel Jr. and Derwin James and Khalil Mack, sometimes it's just names that are out there, but a lot of times they underwhelm. But you never know. Like I said, it is possible the Bears win tonight, but if the Bears are going to win, they're going to have to get sack lunches. They're going to have to get fumbles. They're going to have to get picks. And you might have to have a career DJ Moore, type of night where he scores 3 tutties in a game like he did a few weeks ago with Justin Fields. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but that's the type of performance that you would have to end up beating a team like the Chargers at home. When MJ had the flu, did he vanish in that? Well, there's a difference. Michael Jordan and Patrick Mahomes are not the same, And it was more than just Patrick Mahomes. It was the defense. It was the O-line. It was the running game. And it's the first time that the Broncos ended up beating Patrick Mahomes in many, many games. And also, if you remember, the Broncos played the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, and it was very, very close. So I already knew that there was a chance, especially when I heard that Mahomes had the flu, that he could play bad and they could lose. And they did. So, like I said, the Chiefs, you got to be able to, kind of keep an eye on them, as well as the San Francisco 49ers. But as you're looking at all the teams in the NFL, I think it's pretty clear as far as today, right? Even though they were down early, Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in football. They are the best team in football, and we're going to have a pecking order in rankings with the Niners going up and down, Chiefs going up and down, and then you're going to get other teams like the Ravens and the Jags, kind of moving up in people's pecking order. But again, going into the weekend, we had Eagles, Niners. Who else do we have? Let me take a quick peek on. I had everything kind of set up here. Let's take a quick peek, and things could get shifted, very, very quickly. But let's take a quick peek here. So initially going in, right, we had the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Jags, and the Chiefs, and they're all knotted up at 6-2. And then you got this kind of creeper team like Buffalo Bills, even though their defense is ass on the outside looking in. But the only way that they're going to be able to get up there and catch up to the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Jags, and the Chiefs, they're going to have some kind of defense. And it is possible because out of all the other teams that are sitting at 4-3 or 3-4, the Buffalo Bills are 5-3. And so if you're going for a top 5 in the AFC, you got it. Chiefs, Jags, Ravens, Dolphins, Buffalo Bills. And then on the NFC side, you got the Philadelphia Eagles, the only team with 1 loss. They're the best team in football as of today. Things could change next week or the week after. Then you got the Detroit Lions, you got the Seattle Seahawks, and the San Francisco 49ers. But then also, you're going to have a few other teams at some point creeping. Who will it be, the Falcons or the Saints? I'm not too sure. Maybe the Minnesota Vikings, probably not because they lost Kirk Cousins. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys, kind of like the Buffalo Bills on the outside looking in. But we're about halfway through the season, but we got a long ways to go before we actually get to the playoffs. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. He said, I don't know how the Bears win the game, but I still hope. Yeah. Hybrid in the building. What's good? Ravens flock looking good. Looking good. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I don't know either. And like I said, the only way that they win this game is if they get like a punt return, a kick return for a touchdown, one or the other, a pick six, and then you would have to have a big game by like a DJ Moore, like a 2 or 3 touchdown game, and you'd have to minimize obviously what Herbert does, and you're going to have to force fumbles out of Eckler, not let Keenan Allen go off, and then just pound it into that defense. And then maybe you end up winning the game 2017, if you underwhelm, assuming that the Chargers don't get into the high 20s tonight. Again, if the Bears had their old defense with the Khalil Mack, maybe it's possible, but with this team, I'm not too sure. But again, this is why we actually show up to these games, because on paper, it looks like easily the Chargers, but you could have said that about the Chiefs and the Broncos, and look what happened. So anybody can beat anyone on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. Big facts. He did have a big day. But the thing is like it's one game. So let's pump the brakes a little bit. He looked good for one game. That we can't say, oh, he's the guy. He's going to be the guy that's going to save the Titans. It was one fucking game. You know what I mean? Everyone loves to overreact, especially when you see something like that. But with that being said, it was much better of a day than anyone anticipated. Him throwing one touchdown pass or two, okay. Things might be looking bright, over Malik or over Tannehill. But when you throw 3 or 4 touchdowns, eyes will start to open. Let me see you do it again next week, and then maybe you are the quarterback for the Titans moving forward. But it was just one game. Big facts. Matt in the building. What's good? Yeah, and like I said, one game is good, but can we see it multiple games in a row? Then we can kind of decide if Will is the thrill, but it's a little too early for that. Let's go, baby. And we had a underwhelming day yesterday with the Ducks, so hopefully we can actually hit the goal today. That was a part of me doing this game tonight, rather than just doing reaction videos all night long where I could have busted out maybe 7 or 8. So hopefully we can get someone to start the dono train, and then we can hit the goal and we can hit the hundo, since we underwhelmed and did poorly with support yesterday with the Ducks victory yesterday over Utah on the road. And then we'll be here for Monday Night Football for the Lions and the Raiders. Let's go, baby. And on the thumb, DJ Moore and my boy Justin Herbert, baby. All right, let's go. Bears, Chargers, Sunday Night Football. Let's get it. Out of the end zone. Go, go, go. A little shimmy and a shake. Decent return. Well, yeah, you got your first victory. You got your first victory of the year, even though it went back and forth and they had multiple penalties for you to finally get the Pinheiro field goal. I was watching a little bit of Red Zone this morning and afternoon where they were breaking down everything on top of multiple games that I was watching today as well. Now, Tannehill hasn't looked good in years. It's been a couple years, since he looked good, and they should have already moved on from him years ago. All right, here we go. First down and 10. Wish Justin Fields was out there. They would have a legitimate shot to win the game. But you never know. Uh-oh, going deep. Oh, baby, Darnell Mooney. First down, Bears. And if you get plays like that, you definitely can beat the Chargers. The Chargers defense has names, but they're very, very suspect. You can get throws on them deep, over the middle, curl routes, post routes, stop and goes, slants, out routes, in routes. It don't matter. And so if this guy can come out there and play with a fury, I wouldn't be shocked, if the Bears win the game. Remember, the Chargers are not 4-2. They're 2-4 because of their defense. Big facts. Penalties declined. Asante Samuel Jr. Sarah in the building. How are you? Thank you for coming in. And like I said, we missed your presence on the channel yesterday. And it's a damn shame, when I put in so much time, effort, energy, and entertain. It's not like I get anything for doing the reaction videos at all. And you would assume that you could get at least one person out of, the many, many people that watched on Twitter/X on top of the people that watched the stream. that you couldn't even have one person show love yesterday. Hella disappointed with that, but hopefully we can get at least a couple people tonight to show some love. Nice tackle. I mean, it's unexcusable, to be at over 20,000 subs and not have one person show love in a 3 or 4 hour stream. That's just facts. Tyson, show me something. So far, so good with that deep bomb. That already showed me enough. And he's confident. He'll play with some swagger. The running game is definitely going to be minimal. Look at that. Sarah wants to show some love. She feels disappointed, that we couldn't get at least one person to show love yesterday. Believe that. I apologize that you couldn't get your Colt victory, but I did pump out that reaction video first for you. And you guys look good. If you guys had AR, you probably would have won the game, or it would have been much, much closer. You guys played good for 3.5 quarters. And if it wasn't for Rashid Shaheed going deep a couple times, you guys would have won. So you guys have a bright future. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. $2 holla. 98 to go. Thank you so much. The catalyst of the channel, Sarah Small. Appreciate you. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Joey Bosa. Let's go, baby. Hey, it was great. Like I told you, I thought it would be a trap game. The Browns played well on defense. Myles Garrett did his thing, but you guys made key defensive plays at the end of the game with that big pick to put you in position to win the game, and you did. Bobo, Jackson Smith-Njigba, we were wondering, are these guys going to be able to get any playing time? And if DK's a little banged up, you still have Lockett, but it shows you they love to spread the ball around. The defense did well. Offense did well. And you guys got the victory. And also, too, you guys are taking advantage of the Niners sliding right now. 1, 2, 3 losses after winning 15 in a row. There is a legitimate possibility to win the NFC West. Now, it's still early, right? But halfway through the season, you guys are on a nice little win streak. Won 5 of the last 6. If you can keep that momentum going, and if the Niners don't firm up their defense and Brock Purdy, there is a possibility that you end up winning the NFC West, which would be very exciting for Hawk fans and people in the Pacific Northwest. Great job by the Hawks today. I was watching. I saw you guys. And, hey, Boye Mafe, baby. Those throwback unis. The Titans won, right? The Eagles won. The Seahawks won. The only team not to win in those throwbacks was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it is what it is. I played the Detroit Lions. Tough matchup. And, if I get someone better than Baker Mayfield at quarterback, the next time I wear those throwback creamsicles, we will win. Big facts. We were supposed to wear them with Tom Brady. So if we were going to wear them, if we had Tom Brady, it's a different story. So, I think you did. Like I said, you made the big interception late and you ended up winning the game. So you already knew it was going to be back and forth. And the Browns have a top 7, top 10 defense. They don't really have a whole lot on the offensive side. Deshaun Watson usually not in the lineup that often. No Nick Chubb, but you were able to find a way. And like I said, you already know Myles Garrett and company are good on that side of the ball. But I feel that the Hawks fans willed them to that victory as well as the defense. And good for you guys. There's going to be a lot of movement, with the NFC. And going into the game, I thought that, the Eagles, the Niners, the Hawks, and who else did I have? Let me take a quick peek here. Going in, who did I have? I had Eagles, Niners, Lions, and the Hawks as the top 4. And now you got the Cowboys on the outside kind of looking in. So let's go. You want some Jonathan Taylor? I got you. And definitely you can tell there's a big difference when Jonathan Taylor and Alvin Kamara are out there for their respective teams or when they're not. When they're not, they're a shell of themselves. When they're actually out there, you can feel their presence. And you got to make sure that you take care of the players that are going to take care of you week in and week out. And there's a different vibe, when you have Jonathan Taylor out there. That's big facts. That's a cool photo. That's brand new. We'll get you one more. Hopefully we'll get some goats to come through to show some love. Herbert. He's like, I got to go down. But it shows you, anybody can beat anyone on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. The NFL is the most balanced league out of the four major sports. The NBA is top heavy, MLB top heavy, NHL top heavy. Even the shitty teams that are in the NFL can beat the elite teams. That's how close and the margin for victory is. 7 points or less on a majority of the game, sometimes even 4 points or 3 points or less. You can't say that about the NHL, the NBA, or the MLB. You just can't. That's why we love this the most, because at any given time, even though when we're looking at this game on paper, you're like Chargers all the way, especially if Justin Fields is not playing. But even if Justin Fields was playing, we would still probably all say Chargers, Chargers, Chargers. But if you look at the record, their records are almost identical. What, 2-4? 2-5. It's not like the Chargers are 4-2. And even if they were, the Bears could still win on the road. Big facts. You're glad that Kansas City lost. I don't really mind if they win or lose, but when you have Patrick Mahomes in fantasy and he ends up doing dog shit, I lost. So that definitely hurt. And now we have a 3 or 4-way tie at 6-2. So we'll see what happens. But I'm the only one in the league that has, their 2 stars that are sitting out. My number 1 running back and my number 1 receiver. No Jay Jetta, no David Montgomery. Really hard to win games when you don't have those 2 guys. When you play against someone that's one of the top 4 teams in the league, I could have really used Montgomery and Jay Jetta this weekend, but also Kirk Cousins with that injury. What can you do? First down and 10. Herbert. Handoff. Joshua Kelly rumbling and bumbling for 5. But if you're looking at the standings now, it's getting really interesting. You got the Dolphins at 6-2, Buffalo Bills at 5-3, the Ravens at 6-2, the Jags at 6-2, and the Chiefs at 6-2. A lot of good teams. You got 5 really good teams there in the AFC. Then we got the Eagles as the number 1 team in football, hands down, 7-1. Cowboys 5-2 on the outside looking in. Then you got the Lions at 5-2, the Hawks in first place at 5-2. Congratulations. Even if it's just for 1 week, and then the Niners at 5-3 on a downward slope, but hopefully they can fix their problems. And then you got a bunch of dog shit in the NFC South. The Falcons and Saints are tied up at 4-4, and I'm at 3-4. So you got 3 teams all 500. Someone's going to come out of the NFC South, but no one in the NFC South is going to win a playoff game. Big facts. All right, yeah, I can do that here once we get to a commercial break. No worries. Wish you guys could have got the victory, but you probably assumed that you were going to lose that game against the Saints. Tough opponent, tough defense, even if they were on the road. Play action fake. There we go. Shimmy and a shake. First down. Chargers. Move the chains. And I appreciate you, Sarah, helping out with the shares and whatnot. It means a lot. I just wish we could get more participation and more support. We're in football season. It's not like we're doing NASCAR right now or fucking baseball. This is the best time of the year. And it definitely shows you who supports and who doesn't. First down and 10. Shotgun set for Herbert. Handoff. Eckler diving forward. Yeah, I wouldn't get one at the stores. I would get it online too as well. Stiff arm. Stiff arm. Yeah, first down, Chargers. Judah in the building. What's good? I would be more excited about this matchup if Patrick Mahomes and a lot of my other players didn't shit the bed. Miami Fairbairn only gave me fucking 1 point as kicker. Mahomes shit the bed. I mean, if I could have at least got 10 points out of my kicker and 30 out of Mahomes, maybe I could have big games by Amon-Ra St. Brown and Keenan Allen, and I might be close, but there's no way in hell. And then Sarah is in Indy right now for the Indianapolis Colts and Saints game, and you didn't get the dub, but you had a good time, and it looks like your seats were halfway decent. NFL games cost a lot of money, and it's cool that you actually got to do something fun this year, like I did. We're working pretty much every day on this channel. Go, Eckler, go, Eckler, go! Touchdown, Chargers! Let's go, baby. I appreciate you, guy. It's nice to know that some people actually do love me and appreciate all the hard work that I do. I mean, to be able to entertain and grind it out and not take days off, like I literally didn't take a day off all month, and for me to be able to do a 3 or 4 hour stream and not even have one person even shoot me $1, that's hella disappointing. There was a point where we hit 200 every day for 6 months. Like, what the fuck happened? And I get it. People got bills. People got other shit that's going on. But you can't tell me out of the 60 or 70 people on Twitter that watch, Twitter/X, and the 600 or 700 people that watch on YouTube, you couldn't have one person, show love. I mean, after $1, what do I get? Fucking 40 cents. But still, it definitely makes you feel underappreciated, when shit like that happens. But things like this make you feel appreciated. And I really do appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, $5 holla. I appreciate you, man. And I know, for people, like if I just quit and stop doing videos, then they would be like, oh shit, maybe I should have did something, But of course, I'm not going to quit. I have way too much invested in this fucking channel, especially with my Jordan rookie that I invested. But, it's just honest, when you're grinding it out, every single fucking day, putting in time and energy, reading and doing film study and, doing these videos, the last thing that you want is to not feel loved and appreciated for what you do, especially when we know we are one of the best on planet Earth on YouTube for sports, period. I guarantee every other channel that's got 20,000 subs or more doesn't get treated this way. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, guy, very much. Let me know what you want for photos, and I got you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, and like I said, we might have to do some reevaluating with the mods because, if you're not getting enough of the mods showing up, why the hell are you a mod? If you're not even showing up or supporting or helping out with the comments or sharing or promoting the channel. Like I said, we have way too many mods that aren't showing up on a regular basis. And the whole purpose of being a mod is actually fucking being here, So big facts. $7. Appreciate you. Let's go. 93 to go. Yeah, there was snow in Denver, but obviously no snow during the game. Big facts. 7-0 Chargers. Nice job. And let me know, guy, what you want. Do you want like some Bo Jackson? You want some Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Max Crosby? You let me know. Austin Eckler with the tutty. No surprises here. I see you, Eck. Nice. No, it's all good. I mean, anything that anybody does, you know what I mean? I don't expect every single person to drop 20, 50, and 100. But I mean, like I said, when you see, all the hard work that's going in, and I'm not getting anything for the reaction videos whatsoever from anybody, and then I'm doing streams pretty much every fucking day. It's my full-time job. It's just nice to be able to survive. Like I can't even buy shit for myself. All I need to do is to be able to pay rent, pay bills, buy stuff for Paisley. I would love to be able to give back to the fans, but I mean, if the support is so low, I can't even give back to the fans. I need to at least survive. You know what I mean? At the very minimum. But I feel like I am very slept on, very underappreciated, very unloved, and very taken advantage of. I really feel that way. I mean, it's just there's no other way to put it. But I do appreciate everything that you do, A guy. And I know, you got a lot of heating bills, but still, you make the effort to at least do something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like, when you see a post and, you scroll past it instead of hitting the thumbs up or the like button or the heart button. It's so simple just to be able to like a stream or to support, but so many people decide not to. It's like this hater mentality where people don't want to support people. It's sickening, man. It's like it should be a thing where we support each other. When other people put out posts, you like it, you support it, regardless of what it is. You know, Big facts. But I'll tell you what, for the people that do support me, and once we get bigger, I'm not going to forget it. And those people are going to get rewarded handsomely. They're going to get taken care of. Magically on the door, there might be a Mitchell NS jersey, on your doorstep. But for the people that aren't supporting, well, you're not going to get anything from me. That's just the bottom line. And support comes in many, many ways. Being here, not necessarily just donating, just being here, commenting, sharing, liking, supporting the brand, a lot of things like that, You just got to put yourself in my shoes. And I don't think a lot of people can. It's like when you go to a movie, unless you sneak in, it's not free. Like I said, if you're being entertained, it costs money. You can't go to a football game for free. You can't go to a movie for free. You can't go to a concert for free. And I feel that, like when people are grinding on like Twitch and YouTube, show some love, especially if you appreciate what they're doing. Big facts. A guy is a real G. Appreciate you. Raiders. Authentic Hurts Kelly Green coming tomorrow. That's awesome. You should send me a picture when you end up getting it. Ricardo in the building. What's good? Yeah, you're an OG, guy. You've always been an OG, and I really do appreciate you. And I think it's awesome to have some Raiders representation on the channel. And I'll always show you love like you show love, It's been a long road for you, but we can still talk about the old school days with Madden and Tim Brown and Bo and, and go back to the old school days, Marcus Allen, Howie Long, bobbled, flag on the play. And I do appreciate that very, very much, man. I know the people that take care of me and the people that, that don't. I pay attention. Holding on the offense. And obviously, with donos and support, like when other people do it, other people support. It's like a snowball effect, right? Likes, they go up. Comments go up, support goes up, shares go up, donos go up. But if you get people that don't show support or love, then what's going to make the other person do it if other people aren't doing it? You know what I mean? And you've always been one that's been a real one, so I appreciate you. I don't know. I've been playing Madden since the early 90s, so that's debatable. Madden 95 is one of the best Maddens of all time. That's on the Sega Genesis, but obviously the one with 04, was that the one with Michael Vick? Cole Kmet. Nice catch. Short of the first down marker. Plus, with all the help that I give on fantasy football, all the help that I give on sports betting with DraftKings and everything else, it's just kind of like, for all the money that I help people win and all the help that I, give to have people win fantasy championships and whatnot, it's just like, I just want to be able to feel that proper love and appreciation for the hard work that comes in. And eventually we need to be able to expand and find new goats if the old goats aren't going to show up, and we need to be able to find new ones and new heavy hitters to be able to support the channel. Bears with the punt, fair catch by the Chargers. Got interfered with. Nice, good choice. Let's do it. Good choice, too. I can always count on the OGs to be original and to come up with not just like the typical name. Maybe something a little bit different that we can show some love for. Appreciate you, bro. Always. Dame product. I'm always attention to detail. I could always be lazy and not put up like the spinning logo and whatnot, but it's just about the effort. And I'm always going to give maximum effort on everything that I do. And I think that's why I get so frustrated, because I put in so much time and energy and effort. And I don't think people really realize how much work goes in to being able to do this full time behind the scenes and then obviously in the streams as well. But again, we'll have the right people. We'll have our, right group eventually, and I can't wait for that day to happen. Because like I said, all I want to do is to be able to live properly, and also be able to give back. That's one thing that has made me the most disappointed. With the group overall, not with just certain individuals that are in the room that are carrying the channel. I absolutely love you guys, but it's like I want to be able to give back, but I can't give back and give away cool gifts like I did last year if I'm not getting the support, and that kind of kills me. I would have loved to have been able to give away jerseys, a couple shirts, some slides, maybe like a Mitchell and Ness or even a sewn jersey, and the support has been lackluster to say the least. So appreciate you, brother. And when those people say, if I do $1, it won't matter. Bullshit. It matters. Every dollar counts, because if everyone has the fucking mentality that $1 doesn't matter, then obviously you're not supporting the channel, especially if you are a fan of the channel, a fan of the person, a fan of the people that are in the room. Like I said, it's all about choices on what you decide to do in life. Either you do or you don't. Big facts. How about Thielen? Yeah. You got to keep him there. He had a little rebirth in his career. The Blazers are dog shit. So the Sixers, even if Embiid ended up going blind, right, and he would still end up putting up 30 points on the Blazers, the Sixers will win. I mean, I'm still going to be watching a little bit of the Blazers, but they're fucking terrible. Handoff, short gain, first down, Chargers. Appreciate you, David. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let me know what you want to see for a photo, and I got you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Thank you so much. Every dollar counts so I can survive and live and continue to do this dream to entertain y'all. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yes, much appreciated. Whoa! Front flip by Joshua Kelly. $1 holla. Appreciate you. Every dollar counts. Thank you so much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $1 holla. Let me know what you want to see for a photo, and I got you as well. Appreciate you. $10. 90 to go. And it's not like we're fucking greedy here. Like the goal is like 500 on every show or something like that. It's just, just the basics, for every show that we do. Hell, we even lowered the goal from last year because the goal used to be 200 every show, but then support was getting lackluster and then we had to go down to 100. Joshua Palmer and that knee was already bothering him. And now it looks like it re-aggravated. I'm actually surprised Palmer's even out there. I appreciate that. AI, one of my favorites of all time. Appreciate you, David. And like I said, if things were better, I would never bring it up, like on how things are, you know what I mean? But sometimes, for people that aren't here every day, I think people need to know, on how things are going. And I mean, shit, like, the grind is fucking crazy. Like most people don't understand how much grinding goes on unless you are a regular here. Like I've literally haven't had a day off in months. And the only day that I had off is when I actually got gifted tickets from Mo Gumbo on the channel to go see the Ducks and the Colorado Buffaloes in Autzen a few weeks ago. But other than that, I've been literally go back on my timeline and go back on the channel. Like there hasn't been days like taken off just to bullshit. I'm literally working every fucking day with no days off. Facts. I mean, I wish I could take a day off, but I can't afford to. But I remember being in seventh grade, eighth grade when AI came out, and then that red champion jersey came out, and I begged and begged and begged to get it, and I got it, and I went to night court, and I remember I would be, rocking with a bunch of high school kids, and that were older than me, and I was like, oh, I gotta rock the AI, and that was the jersey that I wore. I mean, I had the Penny Hardaway as well, but Iverson. I mean, if you were a shorter player, I was only 6 foot, so I could relate. I emulated Iverson growing up and whatnot, and he had a swagger, and a style, from Georgetown, and I followed him from Georgetown all the way to the Sixers. And as far as like players are concerned, especially shorter players, he's the equivalent to like a Drew Brees of the NBA as far as a short quarterback. That's big facts. Very likable, stud, and had so much heart. Was an absolute gem to watch. Big facts. David with a 20. Thank you so much, brother. Let's go Birds. Let me know what you want to see. If you got some Eagles, I can do some Reggie White. I can do some Randall Cunningham. We can do some A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts. You let me know. I got you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. Like I said, all I need to do is just live. Like I said, I don't need to be greedy. But like I said, it's like if you're grinding for 4 hours and you have 600-700 people that watch you and you don't even get one person to donate $1, it makes you want to quit. I'm not going to quit, but it makes you feel like shit when you're giving your all and you can't even have one person support you. It's the worst feeling in the world. And it's like, it would be one thing if I was at 20 subs and I was just starting off. But when you're at 20,000, that's what makes it even worse. It's like I have so many people that supposedly support, but in the end, only a fraction really do. Big facts. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you very, very much. David with a 20. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you so much. I mean, I don't know what I need to do if I need to start being fake, if that's what people want. If people want me to act a fool and be an idiot and be fake, seems like a lot of people on social media are that way, but I just can't stoop down to their level, to have horrible takes and to be loud and annoying. And, I just can't be someone that I'm not. But there's so many fake people that are on social media, but I won't stoop down to that level. Just won't do it. $30, 70 to go. Let's go, baby. Yeah, Megan is a blessing to the channel, just like you, A guy, just like Sarah, David, and a bunch of others. Like I said, it's just I wish that we could get more support, and for the heavy hitters and the GOATs that were a very big factor of the channel last year, they don't realize by them not just being here is hurting the overall channel. It's like one thing with the donos not being here, but just not being here at all is hurting the channel. And I don't think they realize that, unless they come in here and I tell them, but it really is. And I get it. Some people are working, some people are busy, but there's others that aren't, and they're making a personal choice of not being here. And that's what hurts the most. It's like I didn't give away Mitchell and Ness jerseys, for nothing. You know what I mean? If people donated heavy, I didn't have to give back, expensive jerseys and clothes and everything, but I did it because of the kindness of my heart, because they were kind to me. I wanted to show that kindness back. But there's a lot of people that are out there that get big donos that never give anything back, And I'm just not that type of person. If people are going to donate heavy, I'm going to make sure I give something back. But, it's like I didn't expect, to get to a point where essentially I'm doing the show for free because I'm still paying back things that I owe from last year, Like pretty much I'm grinding every single day, and all I'm doing is I'm working to pay back things that need to be paid back. Otherwise, I'll get in trouble. So it's tough, working just to pay back the man, terrible feeling. Like, I can't buy anything for myself. I haven't been able to buy anything all year. Like, if I didn't get gifted those Ducks tickets, I probably wouldn't have been able to go to a Ducks game this year. It's a shitty feeling, to have dreams and goals and knowing that everything that you're getting is just paying back, the man, or the government, that's a shit feeling. So hopefully, in the future, we can get more people and we can hit the algorithm. And then that way I can actually, make money. And then when I do, I can give back because I would rather give back than buy something for myself. That's really the part that tears me up the most, is people not showing up, people not supporting, and then me not being able to give back to the people that are really important to this channel. It's just fucking sad. But I do appreciate all of y'all for doing big, big things. I appreciate you. Well, I know I'm going to make it. Touchdown, Chargers. And I'll get you some Brian Dawkins here in a second. He said, go to sleep. But if everyone's got the mentality that the next guy or the next girl will take care of it, I'm not going to do it. The next person will do it. Well, if everyone's got that mentality, then that's where we're sitting, like we're sitting right now. It's a shit feeling. Nice touchdown by the Chargers. Extra point is up, and it's good. All right, let's try to get some Brian Dawkins up here for you. Appreciate you very much, man. Appreciate you, bro. One of my favorites of all time. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you, bro. 14-0 Chargers. Yeah, I mean, I knew they would based off the reaction videos. Like I said, if I was able to do those in the situation with the ex-girlfriend, I mean, we would have been over 20,000 a long, long time ago. But, when you only have a few hours to record from like 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day, and you have to pay rent, what was I going to do? Just do reaction videos and then be homeless? It's like I had to be able to try to do the live streams to be able to survive and live. But at least at this point now, I can record from 7 a.m. to midnight. There is no real limitations for me and whatnot. So, and like I said, it's like I'm working harder and harder than ever. It's just want to be able to get the right amount of eyeballs to be able to grow this channel the right way. So, and I realize not every sub is going to be a goat or a heavy hitter or a mod. I get it. You know, I just want to be able to be treated fairly, just like every other channel that's got 20,000 subs or more. I don't want to get treated like I have fucking 20 subs. When other channels that have 20,000 and more get treated much better by their fans. That's all I want to. That's all I'm asking, just to be treated the same way. I don't think that's too much to ask. Second down and 2. And if the channel was dog shit, then the channel's dog shit, but it's not. Like I said, we got one of the best sports channel on YouTube, period. It's just a matter of a collab or going viral, hitting the algorithm or whatever it may be. There's definitely a lot of haters out there. That's for damn sure. Have I ever thought of having people pay subs to be channel members? No, I would never do that. Yeah, I wanted, like I said, I did 3 reaction videos because I have to wait until 1:30, 2 o'clock for the NFL to post the morning games. So then I tried to do the 3 best games that I thought were exciting. And then, I wanted to do this. I don't even like missing Sunday Night Football, and I did that earlier just because I thought if I maybe skipped a shitty Sunday night and I did more, that maybe I would get more views on them and whatnot. But it just depends on the algorithm and whatnot. Every sub helps as long as they stay subbed. That's true. But some people are very fickle. YouTube is the hardest to get subs and to keep subs and to retain them. With Twitch and Instagram and Twitter, X, Facebook, it's much easier. You know what I mean? But for YouTube, people are so fickle. They feel like their sub is like my precious. It's like Lord of the Rings. It's like the ring. Like the sub to this channel is like the most precious thing on fucking earth. I don't know why people have this thing where a sub on YouTube is like the most precious thing on planet Earth. But I guess that's just the mentality or whatnot. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I wanted to do this game so that way we could hang out. And also, a big reason for me doing the game today is because we fucking hit a 0 yesterday when I did the duck game. It's sad when you end up doing a stream and you don't even get one person to show love, at all. And even if it was $1, it would have been terrible. And then after the fees through YouTube, what is that, 45 cents? But at least it was something instead of just, grinding it out and being at nothing. So, that was a part of, having to do the stream today too. And like I said, I don't really like missing Sunday Night Football. I like doing it to kind of catch up. But again, I'm grinding every day, Monday through Sunday. So, and then tomorrow we'll do the Lions and the Raiders over the World Series game number 3. So, yes, I'll get you some Jay-Z. I got a brand new one that I was waiting for you for a while, but I'll show you. This one I've never had this one posted. Look at that one. Never showed that before. Handoff. Good tackle there by the Chargers. And I got another one that I've been sitting on too. Sometimes I find them and I save them, and I'm waiting for the right opportunity, like a Seahawk game stream or something like that, or when you're in the room and whatnot. So that's a nice one too. There's another one. It definitely like brings you back in time where you're like, oh wow, I remember that. Appreciate you. No problem. What's good? Wahaj in the building. What's good, brother? No problem. I always take care of the people that take care of me. And like I said, when things get really, really good here on the channel, when we're sitting like some of those other, YouTube channels, I got 50,000 subs, 100,000, and they get that type of support. Oh, you're definitely going to be getting some nice gifts for me for the people that didn't give up. The people that didn't shy away, the people that didn't just go where the popular person is, the people that actually stayed loyal to the soil. Those are the people that are going to get really taken care of by me. Big facts. And I always keep my word. I'm not like other YouTubers out there that say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna collab," and then back out. So I always keep my word. I'm not fake. I'm not a liar. AJ Brown's great. Are you kidding me? I mean, statistically speaking, most people had him going into the season as a top 10 receiver. This year, he's playing like a number one, number two, or number three receiver overall. He's been fantastic, and the team has changed since they brought AJ Brown in. When they had Devontae Smith, they were good, but they weren't Super Bowl good. Once AJ Brown took the number one role and Devontae Smith was 1B or the number two, things took off. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles make the Super Bowl and win it this year. He's fantastic. He's a game changer, the biggest game changer they have besides Jalen himself. Big facts. Oh my God, which one? I did the reaction video. I actually watched the game, and Zini Panini is a big Eagle fan and whatnot. And yeah, we were talking a little bit, and I got a lot of Eagle. There's a lot of Eagle fans out here in Oregon, believe it or not. They actually have this thing called the Eagles Nest. So they have like 4 Eagles Nest, one in Philly, one in Oregon, one in Arizona, and one in intercepted. And it's people that actually lived in Philly that actually opened up bars in other states, and it's like a fan club. And they do like prizes after every quarter, and not like shitty ones, jerseys, Pro Bowl jerseys of Westbrook from back in the day, like Brian Westbrook, Mitchell and Ness, hats, T-shirts, like nice swag. And there's actually a place that's only like 15 minutes. It was 5 minutes away from me at my old place with my ex-girlfriend, but now from where I'm living, it's about 15 minutes away. And the owner of the bar owns 2 bars here, about 10 minutes from each other. And he's actually a Philly implant. And then they have roughly 100 to 200 people every weekend that show up for the Eagle games. It's a cool environment. And I remember when I would show up, for Bucks, I would wear my hard hat and my Derek Brooks, and they were the only bar that would give me audio and video of my game. Like no one else would. Like they'd be like, "Hey, put on the Bronco game. Hey, put on the Cowboy game." They'd be like, "Fuck off." But for me, they liked me so much and I vibed with them that they would give me like a corner TV at the bar, and they would give me audio. No fucking bar gives audio to any motherfucker there ever. It just doesn't happen. Even when you go to like Buffalo Wild Wings, they got the fucking volume off. It's terrible. To be able to really feel, the action, I got to hear the audio. They knew that, and they were able to do that for me. And that's why I always have kind of a connection with Eagle fans, because like I said, I have plenty of them around me here in the Pacific Northwest. So big facts. Chiefs and the Niners, tough. Like I said, anybody can beat anyone on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. That's why the NFL is so loved. The Chiefs didn't play good against the Broncos 2 weeks ago. Patrick Mahomes had the flu, so I kind of knew that there was a good opportunity for the Broncos to possibly upset them. They did. And with the Niners, they haven't played well in the last 2 to 3 weeks. The defense has let them down. And when the defense for the Niners doesn't play well, Brock Purdy doesn't play well. And they're starting to get a little bit exposed. So, it is what it is. The one-handed one, he's amazing. I mean, like I said, we always put him and kind of DK Metcalf in that same category as like those big, physical, tall wide receivers. But if you're looking at game in, game out production, AJ Brown is slightly better than DK Metcalf based off body size and build. And if you're talking about like the best receivers in the league, DK Metcalf normally is like a top 10 receiver if he's healthy, but AJ Brown is more like top 5. Especially this year, he might be number 1, number 2, number 3. He's up there. I mean, statistically speaking, He's putting up just as good of numbers as anyone else, especially with Jay Jetta being injured. There's going to be spots that need to be filled for the top 3 receivers, top 5, top 10. And A.J. Brown will be that guy that will lead them to the NFC Championship game and maybe even the Super Bowl. Big facts. Yeah, Hopkins and Levis. That was crazy. No one saw that coming. 14-0 Chargers. Let me know. Do you want some A.J. Brown photos as well? You let me know what else you want. I got you too. And I've never had any issues with like Eagle fans ever. I know some people are like, Eagle fans are the worst. Why? Because they're passionate. It's like, yeah, they threw snowballs at Santa, but that doesn't mean every fucking Eagle fan is a dirtbag or an asshole. You could say the same for the Cowboys or the Saints or a lot of other organizations that are out there. The 3 most hated fan bases, what, Patriots, Cowboys, Saints, Eagles, maybe those 4. Maybe Eagles, Saints, Cowboys are the 3 most hated. And some of the fans are amazing. But some of them are going to be suspect as well. So, yes, I agree. I'm gonna get some AJ Brown up there for you, David. I've always liked AJ Brown. Even at college, I could tell that he was going to be something special. Sometimes you just got to get on the right team at the right time. And when Ryan Tannehill, right, when obviously he was actually a good player, you got to see Tanny and AJ and Henry. They had a nice little trifecta going. But that seems like such a long time ago. Herbert, Palmer. I got a couple AJ Browns for you for your support. That's that dude right there, the game changer, the wide receiver 1, the guy that makes the difference in the game, and also a guy that could score 1, 2, 3 touchdowns in a game, and you wouldn't be surprised. Hell, AJ Brown could get 4 touchdowns in a game. I don't think anyone would be that shocked. There's a few receivers in the league that can get 3 or 4. Tyreek, AJ Brown, Jay Jetta, Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, just to name a few. That if they got 3 or 4, you're like, oh, wow, big game. But it's not like, oh my God, how did they do that? It's like, yeah, I know they're really good. So, yeah, but I think most people right now would feel that he's a top 10 if they didn't look at the stats. But if you look at his stats, he's playing like a top 3. But most people that are blind or not a very good stat or analytical people, they'll just do like the eye test or what they see on Twitter, X, or Instagram or Facebook or whatever they see on the morning shows and whatnot, whatever bullshit Stephen A. or Skip has to say, that's some biased review. You actually have to watch the games and look at the stats, and then you can make a fair evaluation at that point. But I still feel that most people don't give AJ enough love. And of course, it's the team. It's the scheme, it's the offensive line, it's Jalen, it's the defense, it's a number of things. But that was the perfect situation for him to go from Tanny and Derrick Henry, and then to get upgraded to go with Jalen. And then that's going to be the reason why the Eagles end up winning the Super Bowl this year, the next year, or the following year. There's a good chance the Eagles in the next 3 years win the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Eckler, short game. Yeah, that's because it's fake, and people love fake. Because some people are smart, and a lot of people out there are stupid. And he says it because he knows he's going to get a reaction. That's why, like when they do top 5s, and then like let's say top 5 quarterbacks, and Josh Allen's not in there, or Joe Burrow, or like Lamar, right, or somebody, or Jalen's not in there. They do it on purpose to get a reaction. And they're like, oh, I can't believe you don't have Jalen in the top 5. They did it on purpose. Either you're smart enough to recognize it, or they got you. You know? Hook, line, and sinker. It's like you have to be able to be smart enough to understand what some of these hosts are doing. What happened to my hands? That could have been a pick. That was Khalil Mack. That would have been a pick. But I feel that a lot of people that watch sports are stupid. Like I said, they just listen to what people say on TV and then they believe it. Oh, Skip said it, so it's true. And then they start telling their friends, oh, look, Stephen A, he's smart. He said it. I believe it. But a lot of us, that watch many programs or did at one point, we know who's smart and who's stupid. We know what's fake and what's real. Even Pat McAfee has gone to the dark side. All he does on fucking College Game Day is pick the home team to appease the crowd, not who he actually thinks that's going to win the game. He's sold out. Dicker the kicker, and it's good. The only shows that I can watch nowadays are Good Morning Football and the Pat McAfee Show. I don't even watch the Pat McAfee Show anymore. Like, I'll watch 15 minutes, and if I don't get any type of feeling out of it, I change the channel. I can watch 3 hours of Good Morning Football, even though Peter Schrager is a fugazi fuck and loves to steal my material, and Jamie Erdahl and McCourty, they're okay. They're growing on me. They're not fucking Kay or Nate, but they're growing on me. And then you still got Kyle Brandt there. The show is like a 7 compared to a 10 on what it was, but I still can sit through it and enjoy it now because I have nothing else I can watch. There is literally no other program that I can watch. I'm reading, I'm doing my own film study. I'll watch Good Morning Football with Paisley in the morning, and we'll go on a walk, and I'll come back and I'll catch like the rest of it. And then I'll try to watch maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes of Pat McAfee. And I normally can't get past that point because it's like they do too many bullshit jokes, impersonations. Like it's it's like this whole Stooges thing where they're trying to like play this role of like we're a bunch of stooges and we have a bunch of these like questionable takes and we're trying to be funny. Like I would rather have them go back to what it was, instead of what they're trying to be now. And obviously when you get millions of dollars, they tell you this is how we want the format to be. You can't say fuck, but you can say shit and bitch and other things. But to me, it's not the same. You know what I mean? I was a very loyal watcher and listener, and I don't think you could even pay me to watch a Pat McAfee show for 3 hours anymore. I don't think I could do it. Stephen A. can't do it. Get Up can't do it. Like I said, the only show that to me that is worth watching is Good Morning Football or anything with Colleen Wolfe or anything on NFL Network. NFL Insiders, obviously I can watch that. The fantasy football show that they have, I can watch that with Cynthia Freeland. I like her, you know what I mean? But like I said, a lot of these shows are just fucking garbage. Yes, I agree. Like I said, I tried to sit down and be like, okay, what am I watching here? And like I said, I like Pat normally because he's real and he's got energy. But like ever since you got the money and you didn't stay independent, because you could have still stayed independent on your YouTube channel, and then the people that are putting ads could have paid more money, and then you could have been like, boom, this is blah, 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 and you could have had more millions of dollars in revenue coming in based off the deal, but you decided to take it to ESPN. But like, who the hell is watching ESPN nowadays? Like little kids, old grandmas and grandpas, like a lot of the OGs. Like I haven't watched SportsCenter in like 15 years. The ESPN is dog shit besides what, Monday Night Football? I mean, that's really all they got. But the impersonations and like the bullshit filler content, it's like, I don't know, man. I really loved how the show used to be. It's not the same anymore. And Good Morning Football still isn't the same because obviously the two hosts got replaced. But Erdahl and McCourty aren't as bad. They've gotten better and better with their chemistry and vibe with Schrager and Kyle Brandt. So I'll vouch for that show. But other than that, everything else to me is dog shit, and it's not worth my time. I 100% agree. You got it, bro. 100%. ESPN's Pat more than, yeah, absolutely. And of course, if he can help out, some of his friends, and they get part of that money, so that way they can help raise their families, buy a house, and be more well off for their, friends and the future of their kids. I get it. But when you change something that's really good, it's just corporate America, money, 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 and then changing how things were. And I fucking hate it. ESPN has been garbage. The last time ESPN was good is when Stuart Scott was fucking alive. and when they were the only show that had highlights. That's the last time that they were good. Now they come up on Instagram or X or Twitter, Facebook. Like there's nothing that makes you want to go out of your way to watch ESPN, period. It's dog shit. All their hosts are dog shit. It's a dog shit fucking promotion, dog shit channel. Short gain on the run. I totally agree. ESPN needs him more than he don't need him. He could have just been independent and collected millions of dollars for advertisements that he could just do being independent. But again, it may have taken a lot longer to be able to get the money that he got from a couple of the bigger companies, but he eventually would have got it, you know. And hell, he's paying Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't from the kindness of his heart, to have Aaron Rodgers on there. They were paying him the whole time. It's not like, oh, he's my buddy with AJ Hawk. No, you were fucking paying him the whole time to do those exclusive interviews. So, nothing is free nowadays. Even though everyone thought, oh my God, Pat and AJ Hawk, they have their friend, Aaron Rodgers, this was cool, we all thought that, but no, they were paying him the whole time, Sometimes, you think and you don't. 30 doll hairs. Let's get to a hundo. 70 to go. DJ Moore's like, give me the damn ball. 17-0 Chargers. And obviously, you've seen with the Bears getting rid of David Montgomery, it was huge. You don't have David Montgomery, you're going down the shitter. You don't have Khalil Mack, you don't have Roquan Smith, and then they wonder why they're dog shit. Can't get rid of key pieces like that, period. Mr. Williams. Thank you, man. Support has been at an all-time low. A lot of the mobs, a lot of folks don't show up anymore, and it's really, really fucking hurt the channel tremendously. We have been getting some good subs based off my reaction videos and whatnot, and I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm really, really excited that you were able to support. Thank you so much, man. And I know you've been busy. You got a busy, busy life, but whenever you can, whenever you do show up, you always show big, big support, and it means a lot, man. Like I did a stream yesterday, Mr. Williams. I got 0. You know what it feels like to stream for 4 hours and not to have one person donate even 50 cents or $1, and you're sitting at over 20,000 subscribers. It's the fucking worst feeling in the world, that I put in all this time and effort and energy to upgrade the thumbs and the scoreboard and everything, and not even one person could have showed love yesterday. So, it makes you definitely feel unloved, underappreciated. It makes you feel like shit. I got dreams and I'm trying to chase them, but again, you just need to have people come and show up, and some people show up and support. And thank you so much, man. Appreciate you very much, dude. You're a real one. Thank you, man. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $50 holla. And he falls down. Typical Chicago Bears. What happened to my hands? $50 holla. Thank you so much. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. And another 20. Thank you, man. I appreciate you more than you know. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you. We hit the goal. Feels good to hit the goal. To go from 0 yesterday to actually hitting the goal, it feels good. Thank you so much. Mr. Williams is an OG, triple OG. Shotgun set. First down, Bears. Oh, it's okay. You got a busy life, you know what I mean? But the shitty thing is, it's not just you. It's like at one point we had 10 goats, and we had, 10 heavy hitters. Now, we might be lucky to have one that shows up. So you can imagine, like there have been many, many times that if I didn't have people show up, I would be homeless. I wouldn't have been able to pay my rent, pay bills. It's like, I can't even, like, I'm literally working for free pretty much all year because I have to pay back, things from the man and the government and everything else because things were so good last year and then everything just ended, And then I got to a point where, I was barely being able, like, I didn't even have any extra money. I was barely being able to pay my rent and my bills. And then if I had stuff that I owed, I couldn't even pay it, And it's a terrible feeling when you have dreams and goals, and then you feel like you're going in the right direction, and you're getting the proper support, and then you finally make changes of the thumbnails, and now they look 10 out of 10, and you got a scoreboard, and you're putting in more work doing reaction videos. Broke up with a toxic girlfriend, putting in more and more work. Haven't had a day off in months, and then to do a stream and get a fucking 0. And that's not the first 0 that we had yesterday. There's been a few. There's been so many 0s and 1s and 5s. It's just, to go from $200 every day for 6 months to go to a fucking 0, it's terrible. And that's just the bottom line. So, but I am happy that you're here. I'm happy that you supported. What's going on with your life lately? Anything new going on? But I feel that when we do have goats, that they do need to hear what's been going on, instead of just assuming that everything's been going great, because it really hasn't. It's been very, very challenging. And it's, like I said, I've been grinding really, really hard, but I feel that we haven't been able to get really the support to match. So unfortunately. Yeah. And even if people can't donate, if people can't donate, they can at least show up and like, and I don't expect them to stay for the whole stream, but it's just like liking a post or messaging a friend or calling a friend. You can check up on me. You can show up, say hi to Sarah and the mods in the room, and even if you're incredibly busy, you can say, "Oh, I'm busy, but I got to go." You know what I mean? But at least, you know what I'm saying? But just even little things like that for a lot of the goats and a lot of the mods, it's just like, dog is streaming. I don't give a shit anymore. That kind of hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? So. But again, I don't really have any hard feelings towards you or Shep, and some of the heavy hitters and goats. But for others, it's kind of personal for me, But for you and Shep, and I already know how you guys are, with what's going on. So I don't really, have any, ill feelings or hard feelings towards y'all. So, thank you so much, bro. You're such an OG. And a lot of times, when we get stuff on the super chat, it's great. That will help out. And Mr. Williams, your dono, $69 dono is really going to help, because I was hoping that I could get Paisley some greenies and some treats and some toys and whatnot. And I'm going to go to the store tomorrow now because of you. So I appreciate you, man. But you know what? If you're, you got, people that you're dating, you got your work, you got friends, you got all kinds of shit that's going on. So I get it, man. But I do really appreciate, you very, very much. And I just wish, when you were gone, that others would have stayed around to keep things afloat, instead of us, like, struggling every fucking day, it seems like, just to be able to get where we need to get. A lot of people, I don't know. A lot of people, I guess, they just want to go where someone is popular, instead of trying to support someone that actually has talent, and actually has good people in the room for us to grow. But if people want to bandwagon and they want to go to where the people are popular, where they, if they want to donate their money there, that person's not going to give a shit, about that dono, especially if you're just, subscriber 123 ABC. You know what I mean? Like, what, they're going to read off your comment and say thanks for the dono, and that's it. It's not like you're going to have a personal relationship with that person. For us, it's different here. We actually have a relationship, and that's what makes it special. So, yeah, greenies like gummy. Yeah, it's for her teeth. Makes her teeth fresh, and it's crazy. Like, you can buy like 8 or 10, and it's like $20 to $25. So they're expensive. You dog toys and everything like that. But I never buy anything for myself. If I ever get donos or anything like that, I always go towards, like, Sarah, the people in the room, the mods or the goats, or it goes to Paisley, or for me just being able to fucking live and survive. So thank you so much, bro. Mr. Williams with a 50, Mr. Williams with a 20, Mr. Williams with the $69 dono. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, I wish more people could be like you, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. But again, I know not everyone is going to be in the same financial state as you. But to go from 10 goats, 10, heavy hitters to like maybe one, sometimes none, it fucking hurt bad. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. You're going to make Paisley a very happy girl, bro. And Paisley is so spoiled by me, too. Like, I literally walk her 2 to 4 times a day. I've lost 70 pounds, since COVID. Paisley's lost 15 to 20. This is the best shape that I've been in. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I haven't had fast food in months. This is the best that I think I've felt, besides the support, part, but other than that, everything has been pretty good. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. And like I was telling Sarah, if we can't get people to show up that are the mods and the regulars and the goats, then why in the hell is a brand new person going to show up, sub or donate? If the regulars and the mods and the heavy hitters and the goats don't even show up and they don't do it, then what is going to make someone new fucking do it? They're not. It's like a snowball effect. So thank you so much, man. Yeah, I keep reinventing myself over and over, depending on different types of content. So absolutely. And I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be, some fucking scumbag and just some, liar and whatnot. So yeah, struggle is real. But even if you would have came in today and not donated, it would have really made my heart feel good. It was kind of funny too, because I was thinking about you in the last week, and I figured if I didn't hear back from you this week, I was going to message you probably around, Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday to see what you're, what's going on in your life and whatnot. But again, I got no hard feelings towards you or Shep. Like I said, for you two, you guys, are always working and always grinding. But if you do have a chance in the future, and even if you are broke or you have other finances that you have to do, touchdown Bears. But if you could even just show up, even if it's just a minute, and just say hi, I'm busy, but I just wanted to come in, and that makes a big difference, because it not only makes a big difference for me, but it makes a big difference for Sarah, the other mods, and a lot of people like talking to you. They enjoy, seeing you on here. There's like a lot of the other heavy hitters and mods that don't realize by them not showing up, you're hurting the channel. Even if you can't donate at all, it's like, it's not, it has to be like embarrassed. Like, oh, I used to donate a lot. Now I can't donate anymore. I'm not going to show up. Who gives a shit? Show up, be a part of the crew, be a part of the camaraderie. It's not always going to be, about, the subs and the views and the donos, but sometimes it's just being able to lift each other up. But if you're going to avoid, the channel altogether, not you necessarily, Mr. Williams, but others, I can't help you. I can't help, make your day better if you're avoiding the channel altogether. Thank you so much, man. Paisley is going to be such a happy girl, bro. You have no idea, but I was planning on trying to, get, some greenies for her, and maybe a new like bone, and bones are expensive, about $20 for like the high end ones, maybe new rope. So, doing something like that. And since I'm not, doing really beer or Modelo Cheladas or any Coronas or any liquor or anything. So really, like, the dispensaries are really like the only thing, that I really, I have to keep my sanity at some point, and if I wasn't able to visit, a dispensary, here and there, I probably would go crazy. I'd probably lose my mind, especially with all the struggles that we've had. Like, that helps. But the number one thing that's probably helped me with everything is Paisley, because when things are good, Paisley's there. When things are bad, Paisley's there, and she's everything. So appreciate you very, very much, man. What do you want to see for photos? I did the Rams and the Cowboys, rough game. Obviously, couldn't really get a whole lot going against the Cowboys today. CeeDee Lamb had a fucking career day. But I ended up doing the Cowboy reaction, Eagle reaction, and the Colts reaction, and then I'll do more tomorrow morning. I'll probably try to do, I don't know how many I'll do, how many I can get, maybe 5, 6, 7 reaction videos tomorrow, and then we'll also do Monday Night Football, but we also will watch the World Series as well, with the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. And I don't know what it is about fans in general, and me and Sarah have talked about it as well, but NFL fans always support, the most, but college football fans don't. Baseball fans don't, Basketball fans don't. Wrestling fans do, but wrestling fans are typically NFL fans. So I don't know what it is about baseball fans that make them cheap, or NBA fans or, whatever else it is, college football. But just because we're not doing wrestling and doing NFL doesn't mean that we have to be, at like 0, or 5 or 10 or 20. I don't know what it is, but it's like I've been doing a lot of streams of many, many, many things. And I don't know what it is, like what the stigma is, but it's like when people do these other types of streams, like the support just doesn't exist. It's weird. Like you would think if, people like NFL, they like college, or you would think that, okay, maybe, and I know baseball, basketball, hockey is kind of a niche thing, but it's just weird to think that like other than NFL fans, like no one else supports on YouTube besides NFL fans. That's it. Like if you're an NFL wrestling fan, you support, but if you're not an NFL wrestling fan, there's no support. Like weird. I figured that would be different, but based on grinding and grinding and grinding every day and doing multiple things, it's just kind of odd. You want some Bengals? Some Dak? I got you. But anytime you can come in, even for even like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just come in for a little bit. I know it would make me happy, and Sarah and a few of the others too. Elliot, a lot of these guys, they're getting older too. Like Elliot and Matt, they're our two youngest mods at like 21. Like Elliot's been watching the channel since he was like fucking 14 and shit. So, I know a lot of the others would love to be able to talk to you too and say hi and just interact and whatnot. So. And I get it, especially with your type of work. Sometimes you're just not going to be able to be available. But I know now, understanding how things have been, I know you'll make more of an effort. And and anytime you want to be able to talk like we used to, you can message. And a lot of times we're both busy, but we can both make time for each other as well. There's about 5 to 10 of y'all I talk to outside of the streams pretty regularly, but some of us have slipped a little bit in our conversations, and that's both of our faults. We probably should have been, catching up with each other a little bit more outside the streams to see how things were. But again, we're both really fucking busy people, but that still doesn't give the excuse that we could have said, hey, just checking up on you. How are you? And even if that has to be me to initiate that, maybe I need to do that a little bit more for people like you and Shep and a few others. So 56 seconds left before halftime. Herbert scrambling, gambling, flag on the play. Yeah. And that I want to be able to help if I can. Sometimes just being able to talk on the phone or in a text, on Instagram or Twitter, or whatever it may be. Sometimes, just having someone that that genuinely cares, listen, that can help turn your day around and your week around. But if you don't have the right people to talk to about it, or you feel that you have friends, but they're more like stoners or drinkers and they don't really give a shit about you, it's like you tell them, but it goes in one ear, out the other. Then you just don't want to talk to those people because they don't give a shit. And if you tell someone something private and they roll their eyes or they don't really listen, you're never going to open up to that type of person ever again. Because I know that's how I am. I'm very like low key. I don't really open up about my personal life to too many people unless I feel there's something special there. Go, go, go. Ekeler, first down, Chargers. Yeah, but since things I know that have been a little bit of a struggle for you and me, I'll make sure that I put in more of an effort to check up on you at a minimum of once a week. If I have to do it twice a week, beginning of the week, at the end of the week, depending on how you're feeling, I'll do that. And I know Shep has been going through some stuff as well, health and work and everything too. So, sometimes I just need to be able to know what's going on so I can help if I can help in any way. And even if it's that me just listening, I don't got to tell you what to do. That's the number one rule. You got a problem, you don't tell anybody what to do. I don't care if you're a therapist, psychologist, big brother, fucking mentor, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's just listening and just being there. That solves the problem. So, but we missed you a lot, bro. You know what I mean? There's about 8 or 9 of y'all that we've been missing a lot. And it's just awesome that you showed up. And on top of that, being able to support the way that you did, that definitely made up for yesterday, sitting at a fucking 0. Yeah, NBA is dog shit. NBA is dog shit. I mean, I'd rather do NHL than do the NBA. I mean, unless it's a particular matchup, but it's like certain matchups I'll get excited about, but overall, the overall product, I don't know. It's just it's so much worse than what it was in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. And like I said, I already know my time is coming. It's not like the channel sucks and the people suck in the room and we have a toxic chat all the time. Like eventually, good things happen to good people. And, you just got to be able to wait your turn, even though I've been waiting my turn for fucking 11 years. You know what I mean? But, sometimes you got to keep going. 11 years in, maybe I got to go 15 before, things break through, and I don't need anyone to piggyback off someone else's success to be able to, take it to the next level, But if a certain collab would have happened and a certain person didn't lie, then the channel would be at a higher place than it is now, But again, I don't want to be able to piggyback off someone else's success. I want to do it on my own. But again, it has to be a team collective effort. So yeah. Priorities too, you know. Like the one girl that I was dating, that I remember that I was telling you about. My little Latin lover, right? She gave up on me because of Paisley and the channel, which was really shitty because I probably would have been with her for a long, long time. I'm not saying I would have been with her forever, but I would have been with her for a long, long time. And for her, to give up on me, not based off me treating her bad, but to give up on me because of fucking Paisley and my job, that one hurt. That one stung, but like I said, sometimes, things happen for a reason. And if they're going to give up, they're not the right one for me. They're not the right one, so. Plus, we were friends for like 10 years prior to that. I just was never single ever, and normally she was with someone back in that time period too, and, just tough. But sometimes, you got to look at, the good things, and understand that not everyone is meant for each other, I accepted all the flaws and all the baggage that she had, but she couldn't accept fucking my dog and me having a fucking dream and a channel, Touchdown, Chargers. Chargers are cooking. Parham with the touchdown. Dak attack. He was awesome today. Yeah, but anytime if things are going tough, message me. Like you used to. You got a tough time that you're going through, message me. I'll always message back. I mean, ask anybody that I talk to outside of the streams. When we message back. I'm not one of those people that leaves someone unread and ignores people. If someone messages or I message right away, unless I'm out for a walk or I'm busy, but I always make sure that I'll take care. Yeah, but at least I figured out how to do thumbs on my own, so I don't have to have someone rip me off and overcharge me for that. And I have my own style now, so everyone knows like when they see the thumbs, that's me. So sometimes you got to go through those trials and tribulations to figure shit out. And we got a scoreboard. On every stream now, everything looks slick. Everything will always be improved. We got fucking spinning logos. So everything is improved. It's just finding the right people to be able to support and being able to grow with the right type of people, you know? Like if we were growing with a bunch of kids, that's not going to help me out. You got to be able to grow with the right amount of kids and then adults. You got to be able to find the people that can support on different types of levels. So yeah, no, it's all good. Like I said, everything happens, for a reason and whatnot. And like I said, as long as I have Paisley, then I'll be okay. She's been like an emotional support animal. She really is. So, and she's able to get me in shape because if I didn't have her, I wouldn't have dropped 70 pounds. I mean, I probably would be drinking every day like I was. I probably would be eating fast food every day like I was. I wouldn't be exercising. My mental health wouldn't be good. And things are pretty good for me right now. So. Who else do you want to see for photos? I got you. What else did you want? I got to throw a CD Lamb up there. He fucking was cooking today. Yeah, I think the thing that kind of hurt the most is that all I wanted to do is just like survive. You know what I mean? I'm like, want to eat. I want to be able to get Paisley something. And then you're just grinding, 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 and then all of a sudden it's like I can't even do the basic necessities in life. That's what kind of hurt. And it's not like the channel's aesthetics has gone backwards. It's gone forwards. Things have looked better, have been better. You know. But we've always supported each other through and through, and I really appreciate you, man. Thank you, for coming through, showing love with the big donos, and just letting me know what's going on in your life too. And we can always message each other privately after, like on Instagram and whatnot, and we can talk more personal shit if you want to there. So, all right, some Joe Burrow. And another thing that has kind of been something that I've wanted to do, we haven't even been able to really do like the food and like the photos after the streams. Like pretty much after the stream ends, maybe I'll personally just go out of my way and do it. But we haven't been able to do like food or wrestlers or like cars or rappers or whatever. Like we used to be able to do that last year where we would spend a half hour after the event and kind of have a good mental health and just talk and go through certain things. And we haven't really been able to do that all year. And that's probably the most disappointing thing for me, not being able to touch on people's problems and be able to help people out, with food and other things to kind of, bring a little bit of light to their day and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm working more than ever, bro. I mean, like I said, it's like not only am I doing, streams every day, not taking any days off, but then, doing the reaction videos on top of that as well. So it's a lot of fucking effort, but it's my dream, So, again, I just have to be able to keep grinding and know that eventually my time is coming. Whether it's in an endorsement deal, whether it be a collab, well, whatever, whatever it may be, good things are coming. I mean, the only way that it's not going to happen is if I quit, and you guys know I'm not going to quit. So, I mean, I might feel like I want to based off the lack of support, but I'm not going to. You know, I just got to be able to suck it up and just, go to the next day. And if we hit a zero, then I just got to be like, fucking, hey, man, hopefully, hopefully tomorrow will be better. Hopefully we don't have too many days where we're at zero. I appreciate you, man. And like I said, and I also feel too like a little underappreciated based off the fact that we can do anything here. Basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, wrestling. I don't think there's very many channels on YouTube that could do it and do it at a very high level, all of those things. It's one thing to be an expert about the NFL and just sticking to that, but to be able to literally do anything on any given day, that takes a lot of skill and talent and a lot of dedication by the people that are in the room as well, like Sarah, sacrificing a lot of her free time, to be the lead mod. And like I said, that's why I always try to be able to gift her every month, and obviously I would have loved to be able to gift her more each month, but I can only gift on what I'm being gifted. So Bengals. Crazy how you can look like incredibly bad at the beginning of the year. Obviously, Burrow was a little hurt, and then you can turn it around and like flip a switch. That's why, like the Niners, looking like the best team in football, they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and then now like 3 losses in a row, looking like dog shit. It's like defense. Oh baby, Bengals and Bills, let's go. Oh my God, thank you. Look at all these injuries: Pickett, Taylor, Cousins, Stafford, Ritter, and Cousins is out for the year. That's tough. I'm happy too because, like I said, ever since you became my lead mod, you probably didn't realize that you were going to be working so hard every single day. But I do love you and appreciate you with all the hard work, and then hopefully we will both get rewarded what we deserve in the near future. Wouldn't be able to have the success on the channel without Sarah. So, and that's exactly why I chose her as a lead mod, because I know that she would be consistent. She's smart. She's dedicated, and that's the type of people that I need to be on the channel. People that are going to show up, be here, put in that hard work and that effort. And then if we have to bitch and moan about how things are going, we can just do that privately on our own, but knowing that things will get better. Let me get some Rams up here for you, at least two. What kind of TV shows have you been watching? What's on tap for you on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Prime? What are you watching right now? That's one thing I always like to talk with the goats, and get any ideas of anything that you guys might be watching at the time. I'm watching Grimm and Dexter right now from the beginning, and then I'm going to be getting into you know maybe The Sopranos, maybe Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul again. I don't know. Sons of Anarchy will probably be next on my list, actually, since I already did Mayans MC, which is fantastic. Gold Rush on HBO. Nice. Shameless is great. Shameless is great. Like I said, I tried to get Elliot to finish it, but he always gets like to a certain point and then stops and starts something else. Oh, nice. Have you started an Instagram or Twitter yet, Matt? You're slacking on that. All you need to do is just sign up for Twitter X. It's free. I'm telling you, if you do that, it'll give you a lot more information, and you'll be able to keep up on more Oregon Duck stuff on top of that too. Doesn't cost you anything. Puka and Tutu have been pleasant surprises for your team this year. No one anticipated that. flexing, flexing like Mr. Williams. It's crazy too because for a lot of us, um, it's been a long time, bro. Funny, even the people on the reaction videos are complaining. Like, dude, your video has been up for a couple hours and no one even fucking comments. I'll have to comment. Like, I don't know what it is, man. Haters gonna hate, I guess. Or maybe it's because I'm not screaming and yelling and acting a fool. 24/7 Chargers. Oh yeah, I got it, man. I mean, like I said, if we didn't have such a break away from each other, I would have been able to do some like Dodgers in the playoffs for you. But again, we both were going through different things and we go through good times and bad times. But one thing that is always true, regardless if I'm good or you're good or I'm bad and you're bad, eventually, we've helped each other out. And if you really look back on how long we've known each other, it's kind of crazy when you actually kind of look at the big picture, with a lot of the goats and a lot of the mods and a lot of the regulars. Some of us have had relationships 6 months or less, but for a lot of us, it's been years. So, like with Zini Panini and with a lot of the stuff that she's gone on with her personal life, and us being able to, help her out, when she had some things in her personal life not really going her way and a few others too. So I got you, man. But since I know that, things are where they're at, I'll definitely make more of an effort to try to check up with you and Shep and a few of the others that I already pretty much consistently talk to here and there. But, and I don't expect anyone to really check up on me. Like I said, and not everyone's role is to check up on someone. It's like I'm usually that person that'll check up on my friends here in Oregon and not the other way around. And it's not like it's not their role, too. Not everyone is going to be that person that checks up on their friends. You know what I mean? And it's okay. Not, it's like some of us, it's that's the person that does it. And sometimes, you might be that person that does it sometimes, or maybe not at all. But if you don't do it at all, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just, every person is kind of built differently. And we have so many things that are going on in our personal lives that sometimes people don't really think about anybody else. They have to think about themselves because, they're in a tough jam. They got to be able to think about what's in front of them, not, whatever else's friends' problems. They got to figure out their own problems first. So I get that too. Third down and 6, but everyone likes to be getting checked up on. That's a true statement. Oh, big hit. But luckily, we got over 20,000 subs, which is a good feeling. And it doesn't look like we're going to be going, forward, backwards, like we were. People fucking around with the subs, oh, I'll sub, and then they take it away, like from a fucking fake ass like raid or whatever. Like we actually have people that it feels like are going to stick around, which is good. And I wish I could have did the reaction videos years ago after taking a couple year break and whatnot, but I feel like we're starting to get the right type of people. We just have to keep going. Shit, I thought it was good. You know what I mean? But I guess some people are more judgmental than others. Judah in the building. Yeah, well, normally I am. I'm single or I'm with someone for like 6 to 8 years. But the problem is when I was with like the two people that I was with for 6 to 8 years, it was only good for the first like year or two. And then it was terrible after that. And then it got to a point where you're pretty much just like roommates and you can't afford to live alone. So you're just kind of going through the motions and whatnot. So or you have one person that's a cheater and the other person's not. So but I think people in general, regardless if it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend, we thrive for connection. We want to have connections with our family, with our friends, with a girlfriend or a boyfriend. But you start to realize there's a lot of bad people out there. There's a lot, and there's people that have been hurt, but instead of being mature about it, then they want to hurt the next person because they were hurt. Like I said, it's a real easy to be a piece of shit person. Anybody can be a piece of shit. It really takes a lot of effort to be a good person and mature, and heal, and whatnot. So even though I've had horrible things happen to me, in the last 15 years, I'm not going to take that on and bring that on to the next person. But it is a shitty feeling knowing that, people will give up on you because of your dog, that they're jealous of your dog, or jealous of your career, or your YouTube channel, you know. And the crazy thing is she worked nights. So it's not like the YouTube channel had nothing to do with it. It was just an excuse, you know. Like, oh, you have your YouTube channel, you don't got no time for me. Every time that, if you had a day off, did I take a day off? I did. It's not like I was like, nope, I can't take a day off. I got to do the channel. Sorry, you know. But everyone loves to make up excuses, but not really tell you the truth. Yeah, but again, I don't need to have a person in my life to make me happy. You know what I mean? Like, I can be happy by myself. But on the flip side of that, if you can find someone that you can be on the same mental like headspace where you can actually carry a conversation with someone, where someone actually has a brain and they're intelligent, but then you can also go out and have a fun time and party and whatnot. Just finding that right balance. Where it's not just a hookup and you're just attracted to them. It's actually like deeper and whatnot, and hopefully someone that's not judgmental, and whatnot. And everyone's going to have a little bit of baggage and whatnot, but, again, it's better that it ended earlier than later because it would have been a hell of a lot more painful for me the longer that it went. So, but everyone deserves to be able to have someone, and that you're their first choice, not for right now. You know, obviously people can get lonely and it sucks sometimes, you know what I mean? But again, you just got to be able to have goals, keep busy, and if you're looking, you're never going to find it. It always happens when you're not looking. And like I said, if you're looking and looking and looking and looking and you're doing dating apps and you're fucking talking to all these people, it's never going to work, because you're looking too hard. You're pressing, you're trying to like magically, press. You're on a full court press in basketball for love. That shit ain't going to work. You're just gonna find people that are gonna be temporary, that are gonna hurt you, that don't really like you that way. It might be a quick fling, if that's what you want, but if you're looking for something real and long term, or something longer than just a couple weeks or a couple months, sometimes you gotta sit on the sidelines and work on you and be happy with you first. And once you're happy with you first, then maybe an opportunity will come your way. Yeah, I don't do the dating app type stuff. I don't do that shit. Yeah, but the thing is, I feel with me, like, if I'm on the same, headspace and the same vibe, I wouldn't mind, trying something out. Like, I believe in love and I believe in, relationships, and I believe in the good people out there, you know. But it just seems like people are like haters, towards like my dreams. Instead of being supportive, they have to hate, or be a fake supporter, like someone that pretends that they actually are supporting me, but they're not. Like they want to be selfish and they want all their time for me to like be obsessed with them, and and having this dream is bad. Like, sorry, that I got dreams and goals, and I've worked really, really fucking hard, even before I met you. You know, trying to be able to, make something out of nothing. Sorry, I got the biggest channel in Oregon that I've worked really, really hard for, and you can't handle it. Can't handle my dog. Sorry. You know, yeah, yeah, but I'm cool being single though. I'm all right. I'm cool with myself because, like I said, there's been years that I would go single and I wasn't sad or depressed. You know, and like I said, sometimes it's better to be single and be happy, but a little lonely, than be with the wrong person that cheats on you or lies to you or doesn't respect you. Honesty, loyalty, and respect is everything. And a lot of people are fucking liars, and they're not loyal and they're not supportive. It's like a facade. So even though you think you want commitment and you want to be with someone or have someone to lay with, or be next to you or watch TV with or whatever, or go out with, but sometimes if it's not the right person, it can definitely destroy you and be more toxic for your life than actually, being alone. Even I need to be with someone. I need this. I need, but until you actually, are with someone and then find out it's terrible, then you start to realize, like, fuck, I hate this. Like, what am I doing? You know, it's hard to walk away sometimes too. 25 for 29 today for Herbert. Is that good? 24-7 Chargers. Incomplete. But again, too, I'm not like most of my friends, or people that I grew up with. I'm the only one that's never been married. I'm the only one that doesn't have kids. I'm the only one that has like a dream that's like crazy like this, that has actually like committed and grinded. Um, I got my friend Brooks, who's the beat maker, and I told him, like, I always support him, but he doesn't support me, which is kind of sad and a shame. You know what I mean? I always tell him to keep grinding. And, if you just would have, grinded when I told you to, like, years ago, who knows where you would have been at. But again, I can't make someone else's dreams come true. You got to be able to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, it's never going to happen. You know, Buster Rhymes fucking reached out to him. If that's not a fucking sign, I don't know what is. But again, it's up to you to be able to do your dreams and your goals. I can't tell you that you're the most talented person, besides myself that I know out of our friend group that actually could be millionaires and that actually could make it, and be something here in Oregon, But if you don't believe it, then it's never going to happen for him. But he has started to slowly implement investing in himself and equipment and working on his music and his beats a little bit more, which is great to see, but it's either you believe in yourself or you don't. And that's the number one thing. If no one else believes, as long as you believe, it's going to happen. Especially if you have talent and you have drive. And he's got the talent. He just doesn't have the drive. It's hard to have the drive, that relentlessness, that passion, that energy to just never say die, never say quit, even when things get bad. But on the Rams and Cowboys video I did, it said 2 hours and no comments. People are slacking. I'll do it. He said, I love your ad libs, bro. Peace and blessings to you and yours. That's cool. And it's funny too. You get a lot of the other people that do reaction videos too that are spying on my shit too, stealing my catchphrases, acting like I don't know. 3rd down and 8. But I guess if EA Sports and Madden and Peter Schrager from Good Morning Football and these other big wigs are doing it, then of course, other people on Twitch and YouTube are going to do it too. Yeah. Getting serious, it has to be the right type of person, It's a commitment, it just can't be just hooking up, or you have a good time, drinking or smoking or whatever. Like it has to be a number of things, you have to have the same type of views, the same type of outlook on life, and where you're at in your life at that time. Kick us up and it's good. And I think communication is the biggest downfall too, because people don't fucking communicate. Women don't communicate, men don't communicate. They don't really say exactly what they mean or what they want. And then they wonder why, oh, this fucking relationship failed. Because you probably didn't fucking open up and say exactly straight up what you wanted or what they wanted. Like beating around the bush, like we can't read each other fucking minds. Like, if you want something, you got to say it. If you need something, you got to say it. You just can't keep it in and then all of a sudden break up and that motherfucker didn't listen. Did you ever say anything to him? No. Well, how is he supposed to know then? I think it's like one of those things. Like communication and honesty is like the biggest thing. Temptation will always be there, with good looking people that are out there. But as soon as you start to get older, I think you start to realize it's not all about looks. Looks that are a part of it for the initial attraction, but actually being a good fucking soul and a good human being, that's sexy. Actually having someone that you can laugh with, that you can trust, honesty, loyalty, respect. Like, I would rather have someone that, had all of those values and then be like a 7 than be with someone that's a 10 that's an absolute liar that I couldn't trust because you just know that it's not going to work out. You got someone that might be a 10 in the look category, but looks fade, but a good person soul and a good heart doesn't, So it just depends on, I guess, what you're looking for. You're looking for short-term fun, you can go for that 8, 9, or 10. If you're looking for something better, sometimes you got to look past just based off physical looks and, attributes. You got to look deeper on what they're about. Do they have goals? Are they motivated? How are they? How do they treat their friends? How do they talk to people? I think you can find a lot on how people talk to their friends, and also when you go out to like a restaurant, how they talk to the people that they feel that are below them. Like if someone thinks they're like high maintenance and then like the waiters and the people that are waiting on them are below them, do they treat them like shit? Because if they treat people like that in the service industry like shit, they're going to treat you like shit too. There's little subtle things like that, or if they don't like, dogs or cats, like if they're not an animal person at all, people like that are suspect to me too. Like, you notice when you walk a dog and a dog starts like growling and barking towards certain people and then they don't towards others. Why is that? They're like humans. They pick up good vibes and good aura if someone is shady or someone's not. Like with my ex-girlfriend and her kid, she would try to like nip at them and bite them and shit. You know what I mean? Because I think that she, Paisley could see how they were treating me, and stuff. And she never would do that shit towards me, but she would only do it towards them, Dogs are smart. They can definitely tell the good people and the people that aren't good. Facts. Adulting is a motherfucker. It is. I found another phone walking today. So I found a phone 2 weeks ago, and then it was open, and I called the neighbor, and then ended up giving back the phone. Luckily, I found it because it was unlocked and Cash App was open and all these other things. And obviously, that could lead to legal shit. If you're going to be a scandalous person trying to steal money from someone, the banks are always going to know where the Cash App is going. And you know what I mean? If you're an idiot, maybe you try to steal. But if you're smart, there's no point of doing something like that. Plus, it's better to be a good person because anytime you lose your wallet or your phone, it's the worst feeling on planet Earth. So I was able to give back the phone. And then I ended up going on a walk early this morning when it was like 30 degrees. And I found another phone, but it's through iPhone and it won't open. And so I think if you can go on to, through Apple, it's got a tracker as long as the phone is still on. And it was close to dying because it was out there overnight. And I was hoping that they would contact me, knock on the door so I could give it back to them, but I can't even open it. It doesn't even give you an option for a thumbprint or to slide the phone. I've never had an iPhone, so I don't know how iPhones work, but it just has like the battery bar on red, and that was it. And no matter what button I pushed on the sides, I couldn't get it to open up or anything. So I guess that girl is out of a phone until unless they have like a tracker inside. Do any of you all have Apple phones? Can you go to Apple and track your phone? I assume you can. And then, obviously, I don't know if the phone still has to be on. Once it's dead, I don't know. Maybe it could show where the last hit was when it was on or whatever. But I would definitely love to be able to give this phone back to this girl rather than because she looks like she's like a high school girl that lost her phone or something like that. But I'd rather have a phone given back than just to have it sit in my garage. But third down and 7, 27-7 Chargers. Shotgun set. Oh, what happened to my hands? Scammed by people out of state. Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy too because normally I wouldn't have wanted to date anybody after being in a relationship for like 6, 7 years, then took a look a break, and then being with the last one for like 8, and then having a break. But obviously, when you're friends with someone for 10 plus years, you think that hey, this might be able to work. We were friends first, we never hooked up, we never dated, we never kissed, we never did. Everything was just like we talked first and got to know each other. So that's why I think it hurt a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because we did everything like the opposite. Most of the time when you date, it's like you're attracted to someone. Maybe you hook up. And then you get to know each other. Like we got to know each other first. And then go down that path or whatever. But and it is what it is. And like I said, if someone's got kids, that's not a deal breaker for me. I know for a lot of girls and a lot of guys, if people have kids, it's a deal breaker. Oh, you got 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids? Nope. You know, but I didn't see that as baggage. Most girls that are fucking over 25 have kids. Like I don't know many people that are over 25 that don't. I mean, most do. Some of them have 2 or 3 or 4. But again, I guess some people, can look past things like me with the kids and whatnot. And then I guess, when you have a dog and you have a dream, I guess that's too much for certain people. But again, sometimes it makes you realize that they're not for you. So, yeah, dude, I missed you. And it's cool to be able to, we can have some real talk too. And thank you so much for coming through. I'm going to make sure I go out of my way to check up on you a minimum of once a week. If I don't hear from you, you can message me anytime. And I think that'll be good moving forward, knowing that where both of us stand. And same thing with Shep. And I'll make sure that I reach out to him here in a couple minutes just to see how he's doing. And for the people that really love and care about me and care the well-being of Paisley and this channel, you're going to be forever loved by me. I appreciate you. And thank you so much, bro. You're a real one. Thank you for showing mad love, and you're an OG. Appreciate you, bro. And I'll message you on Instagram right now, too. I'm messaging you. I just sent you a message. You already know when things have been a little bit is like when you go down and you look at your messages to certain people, and if you have to scroll, right, then it's been a minute. It's been like if you have to scroll to find that person, right, out of all the people that you talk to, chances are it's probably been 1 to 3 weeks or maybe a month. So we'll make sure we keep up on things a little bit more. Yeah. And you're a big part of this home. We appreciate you tremendously, man. And it's not just the donos. You can come through no donos. And it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, why are you not donating? I can care less. Like I said, the donos are important. They're, you know what I mean? But just having your presence in the room, it means more. So I appreciate you, bro. Jeff, I just messaged you. You just missed Mr. Williams. That's funny. I just messaged you. Sometimes I guess you just talk it into existence, huh? I just said I was going to message you, and I messaged you on Instagram, and then here you are. You probably didn't even see my message. ESP, that's fucking weird, huh? That ESP shit fucking happens pretty often. I don't know how I do it, but it's like I just have this weird feeling, or like a thought in my brain, like, oh, I'm thinking about Shep and how he's doing, and then all of a sudden, here you are, you know, creepy. How are you doing, bro? How's your mental health? Your overall physical health? How are you doing? How's the job? Hopefully things are okay with you. Hey, don't worry about being late. Better late than never. Now, I was hoping that the Falcons could actually come through and get that dub. But we had Mr. Williams in here for about an hour, and we were just talking about, like, I don't have any hard feelings towards you or Mr. Williams when you guys can't be here, because whenever you guys do show up, when you can, you guys always support heavy 20, 50, 100. You always go above and beyond. But for some of the others, it definitely hurts a little bit more, for people that kind of gave up and whatnot by just, it's one thing to like not donate, but to just like stop showing up altogether. That sucks. But it is what it is. If they choose that they want to go down that path, that's up to them. But Mr. Williams came through, so that way we could actually hit a good number. And also, I did the duck game yesterday and we hit a 0. And that's a horrible feeling. When you end up doing a stream and you don't get even one person to shoot you $1 after YouTube fees, it would have been like 55 cents, but still $1 would have made me feel a hell of a lot better than doing a 0. It's just mind boggling to me that I can be at 20,000 subs and still hit a 0 in a stream. But I guess that's the life that I have to live. And I guess that's going to make me stronger and tougher, knowing that I can be at this type of sub count, be at a fucking 0, and I can still keep going. And things, hopefully will get better. And then we won't have too many 0 days moving forward. But other than that, besides hitting the 0 yesterday, which sucked ass, the Ducks won, which was good. 0 when Donos was terrible. And other than that, just grinding. Yeah, Sarah getting her first win in fantasy. I got fucking obliterated. And obviously I had to play the goddamn best week. Motherfucker is gonna put up a 175 projected. Mahomes shit the bed. Kyrie Fairbairn fucking only got a 1. And then he had CeeDee Lamb that put up a 41. Anytime you have someone put up a 41 and then he had ETN and Chase that combined for 50, yeah, I'm fucked. The only way I'm going to be able to catch up is that if I put up 25 to 40 with Amon-Ra or Keenan Allen, and I just didn't have a good week this week. So now we have like a three-way tie, I think, for first place at 6-2. So it's a long season, just like in fantasy and in obviously the regular season. Anyone can beat anyone in fantasy or in real life on any given week. Big facts. But my heart feels good. Even if the donos were really, really low today and Mr. Williams wasn't able to donate at all, just having him in the room and Shep in the room, that made my heart feel good. For people that are big contributors to the channel that are super busy, but still take the time to show up. So and that's the honest truth. That really was awesome. And then we got a little bit on the super chat side and also on the Cash App side, so I can actually get something for Paisley tomorrow. Got to get her some greenies and get her a new toy. So that makes me happy. When I can take care of her, that makes me have joy. So man, I got fucking destroyed. 156 to 82, and I still have a couple pieces, but I'm projected to get 106, which will be the worst all year for me. And he's projected for 175. Sometimes if you just have that right player that just goes off, or you have multiple 3 or 4 guys out of your 9, yeah, that'll do it. Gus got almost that sweet 30. How many tutties did he have? 3. And it was smart for you to pick up, McManus and Ridley, but you should have played McManus. Remember? McManus, you should have played McManus. He had 2 50-yard field goals and was at 10 or within the first 3 minutes of the game. It was so early. And then even though Ridley has had some shitty games, he got back on track with a 14. So that was good that you got him back. And then Burrow put up a 27. But again, coulda, shoulda, woulda. I mean, a lot of us go through that on fantasy where we have someone on the bench and we're like, no, we left points on there. But that's what makes fantasy tough. It's hard to predict. Even if you have an ESP, you're not going to be able to predict everything. And one thing that we're never going to be able to predict is injuries. When injuries happen, you'll never know. Yeah. Well, plus this fantasy league this year is pretty competitive. I feel it's more competitive this year than last year. There is more talent, I feel, based off how the games have been going with the draft and how things have been moving, that I don't really know who's going to win this year. The teams are pretty even. It really is going to come down to the final 4, and whoever gets hot in those 2 weeks is going to win. And it might not even be the number 1 seed. It could be the number 4 seed, really. So I really don't know what's going to happen. It could be number 1 seed shits the bed and the number 4 wins it all. I would not be shocked by that one bit. Oh, good defense. Stopped him on 4th down and 1. I mean, sometimes I miss, having a blue moon with an orange peel. I was able, at least, when I was still dating Erica, we were able to go out to a couple places that had them on tap, and I got to have my little fix. So since I'm not really drinking anymore, I'm not eating fast food anymore. But again, like I said, it takes a lot of commitment to be addicted to something other than drinking and partying. I'm addicted to exercise. With Paisley and obviously grinding. On the dreams and whatnot. So Moody, bye-bye. Remember, I had him and I had Maher, and I thought, oh, things are going good, and I got rid of both of them. I was like, uh-oh, this shit ain't looking good. And it's always nice when you can have someone that, like a Tucker, and if he does good all year, you set it, you forget it, and you're good. But now, in this year, in 2023, even if you got an elite kicker, they're not doing good every week. Sometimes you're going to get someone that shits the bed, and so now I'm having to scramble a little bit and keep updating my kickers. And then I finally thought, okay, I got Fairbairn and I got Hopkins, and then Fairbairn puts up a fucking 1. What the fuck, dude? I thought the Texans and the Panthers wouldn't be that close, but it shows you the NFL, you don't really know what the hell is going to happen. But sometimes you got to carry 2 kickers or 2 defenses because you can't just trust one. I mean, unless you have like 9 running backs or 10 running backs like Reflect. But again, I don't have my number 1 running back or my number 1 receiver, and that's like 50 points. If I had that, I would be fucking wiping the floor with a lot of y'all. I would probably be undefeated still if Jay Jetta and Montgomery didn't get hurt. But it is what it is. Like no one else has a first round pick that was putting up that kind of numbers out. And then RB1, my RB1 is out too, on top of my wide receiver one. So, for me to be 6-2, I guess that's all right, but I'm definitely not happy with my record right now. Logan Thomas? Yeah. No one could have predicted that. Sometimes the Commanders play good. Sometimes they play shitty. But if you actually look at Bieniemy and that offense, everyone on the team is pretty good. How? Sometimes is dog shit, but other times he's pretty good. He can hit like 20. Then you got Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson Jr., Jahan Dotson, Scary Terry. You got like so many pieces. Even the tight end with Logan Thomas. It's like you got 3 wide receivers that you can go to. And then you got a tight end, 2 running back. Like you got lots of options. And a lot of times with Washington, the reason they lose is not because of their, D line, it's their linebackers and their secondary or their O line. Washington isn't as bad as people, make them out to be. Kick is up and it's good. 30-7. Well, there's still time. I'm 6-2. Reflected 6-2. Chief went down to 5-3. Seahawk Talk is going to be 6-2, and Faux King Money is going to be 6-2. So we're going to have a 4-way tie for first place. But at least at this point, I have the most points scored for the league, 935, and I've given up the least, 716. And that's really what shows skill set in fantasy. You might get blown out one week, but how do you beat up on the other teams? And if you can score the most and give up the least, you're doing something right. I just wish I had Jay Jetta and Montgomery. That shit really fucking hurts, especially when I don't really have any running backs. Like I have no running backs on my squad. Like Montgomery is it. Then I got to stick a RB2 that I hope that gets 10 fucking points, like a Jalen Warren or a Henderson or some other fucking schmuck, And I'm wide receiver heavy, but Jay Jetta, please come back. And then if he does come back, he doesn't even have Kirk Cousins, so that's not good. Ben Stritter, yep. I agree. You guys should have won that game. Like the Falcons are still young and inconsistent. Like the games I think they're going to win, they're going to lose. And the ones I think they're going to lose, they win. It's like they do the opposite. I'm trying to help Mo Gumbo with the picks. And it's not like I just pick all the NFC South teams just because it's NFC South. I have to look to see the matchup. But I really did think that there was a chance that you could get that victory. The only thing that was going against you is they were wearing the Houston Oilers throwbacks. And a lot of times when you wear throwbacks, you're going to lose. Except for if you're Tampa. I lost. Everyone else that wore the throwbacks won. Eagles won, right? The Titans won, and the Seahawks won. The only team that wore the fire uniform that lost was me. Go figure. But I was playing the Lions too, which was one of the best teams at that time. So there's that. So now all I got to do is I got to get 60 points out of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is that doable? 60? Even if I got 60 with Amon-Ra, I'd still lose. Amon-Ra with 5 touchdowns and 300 yards. Yeah, absolutely. They should be calling. Unless you want to go to a dog shit team like the Packers, who are actually dog shit. That nothing makes me happier seeing them be dog shit every fucking week. I love it. And I knew the Vikings were going to beat them too. We're on top of the world with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Now you're coming to the harsh reality that Jordan Love hit. All that shit talking that the fan base did, now it's coming back. You reap what you sow. even in games that you think that you have a chance to win. Vikings at home at Lambeau. Oh, we can win. No, you can't. No, you can't. That shit was awesome. $169. Shit, we haven't seen donos like that in fucking a minute. 31 to get to 2. Donate to the Petco Paisley Fund. 30-7 Chargers. Crazy how much dog things cost at Petco. Like, you don't realize how much that shit costs unless you have a dog or a cat. Then you're like, damn, that shit costs a lot. But you can't put a price on making your pup or your cat or your family member happy. Yep. And then Tampa is right there. You guys need to someone needs to take that division. I would say probably Saints are 1, Falcons 2, Bucks 3, Panthers 4. So that way I can get Michael Penix Jr. in the draft, and then I'll obliterate all you motherfuckers later in the next coming up years. But if you guys want to obliterate the fuck out of me this year, go right ahead. I don't want to win the division. You guys can take the division, Falcons or Saints. But I feel with AK-41, that's the difference. And that's why they think the Saints are going to win the division. Even though sometimes they look like shit, like they got a defense, that's better than the Falcons or the Bucks. That's at least more consistent. Even though our defenses, all three of our teams have been pretty good, right? But what offense, is going to be more consistent week in and week out? Sometimes it's the Falcons. Sometimes it's the Bucks. But I think with AK back in the lineup, I think the Saints, as long as Era isn't hurt, that should be probably the best offense. You would think. Falcons, Vikings, two teams that have defenses that could step up, but no Kirk Cousins. He's out for the year, so you should win. Yeah, well, you're the only one that supports that shitty franchise, even though you're a Bronco fan. No one else supports that shitty franchise. No. You can get first place in the division. You can let me get Michael Penix Jr. or Shedeur Sanders. Maybe if you guys get Shedeur Sanders and I get Michael Penix Jr., that would be dope. If we could do something like that. Shedeur would be nice in Atlanta. I don't know if he's good enough, but, if you have the proper pieces, Algier, Cordarrelle, Bajan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and you get an offensive lineman or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, beef up that D. Shedeur could be kind of sexy for Atlanta. He kind of has an ATL vibe, and his dad played there. Why not? Shedeur, why not? Why not, bro? Why not Shedeur? I'll take Michael Penix Jr. You get Shedeur. Michael Penix Jr. on the Bucks would be fucking wild. I know. But if that happens, Michael Penix Jr. is going to be better. He'll be like Tua. Maybe better than Tua. Tua, Michael Vick, Steve Young, somewhere in there. We don't know how good he's going to be. Could he be Steve Young? Maybe not. Could he be Michael Vick? Maybe better. Could he be Tua? Maybe even better than Tua. The only thing that's going to, hold him back is, really his injuries, and that's it. So, and then Bo Nix is emerging more into the Heisman conversation too. Bo only has one fucking pick now. Is Bo going to be a good pro quarterback? Probably not. Probably a backup that's going to have to wait his turn and whatnot. But with that being said, you never know. Bo looks pretty efficient out there. He's been good for us. And we have the largest point differential this season among Power 5. We have a plus 199. And people are starting to say maybe the Ducks are better than the Huskies. Like we only lost by 3, but we blew out fucking Utah by like 50. It wasn't 50, but it felt like it, Plus 199, number one in college football, Oregon. Plus minus differential. That means we're beating everyone's ass by a lot. Oklahoma plus 187. Michigan plus 184. Georgia plus 166. Penn State plus 155. No one would have expected that. And our defense is much better than people are giving us credit for as well. We have a bright future. And don't be surprised when Washington or Oregon wins the Big Ten. At some point, USC, Washington, or Oregon will have a shot, and they'll beat Ohio State and Michigan. And one of those teams, like Oregon, will be first, Michigan 2, or Ohio State 3, like something of that nature. It may not be next year, but don't be surprised in the next 5 years if you see Oregon, Washington, or Cal, beating Michigan or Ohio State. We match up really well with them. I think Oregon matches up the best, even better than USC and Washington. I mean, hell, USC gave up almost fucking 50 points and lost. So they're not on the same level. I know Megan loves them, but they're not on the same level as us. They are not us. Washington and Oregon are on a whole nother fucking level. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't fucking you can't fucking play California, who's dog shit, and they put up 49. California put up 49 and USC put up 50. That means that your defense is below the gutter. Like literally, you're like it. Like you're in the fucking sewer, like you are in the gutter. Terrible defense. And we knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. But hopefully Michael Penix Jr. wins the Heisman, or if he doesn't and they give it to someone else and it's a curse, give it to someone else, and then hopefully Washington makes the playoff, and hopefully they get to the championship game. I would love that. But to give up 49 to a team that is dog shit, that is bad. So I already know Oregon's beating USC at fucking Autzen. And then Oregon State ended up losing last night, which was a damn shame because I thought that they were pretty good. They lost to Arizona 27-24. But I still feel Oregon State will be our hardest game that we play from now to the end of the year. That will be the trap game. But I honestly think that Oregon is going to run the table the rest of the way. And then I don't know if we'll be able to play Washington in the Pac-12 championship. But if we do get a chance at Washington again, there is a chance that Oregon could win, especially if it's on neutral turf. Yeah, but also too, Shep, you have to admit this Georgia team and Alabama also, you guys aren't the same. This isn't the same championship caliber team anymore. Other teams have caught up. Like it's up in the air. Like it's up for grabs. Like you could end up getting a Pac-12 or a Big Ten team that could surprise. If they get hot and healthy at the right time, even though it's SEC, no one fears the SEC anymore. Bama and Georgia are good, but they're not elite anymore. There's other teams that are on their level. So we'll see. Like I said, this might be the first year that you're not getting an SEC champion, which would be awesome. It'd be good for college football, for Michigan, Ohio State, or Washington. I can't say Oregon because I don't think we're good enough, but if we go undefeated the rest of the way and beat Washington in the Pac-12 and championship and we make the playoff, who the hell knows? 49 to California. That's unbelievable. California is a 3-5 team. Unbelievable. Yeah, we were supposed to be bottom 4. Right now, you could argue we're top 2 with probably Washington, with defense. Oregon State's defense is typically up there too. I would say Oregon State, Oregon, and Washington have got the 3 best. Utah used to be, but obviously with no Cameron Rising, then the defense gets too tired. So they're not there anymore. But I would say Oregon State 3rd, and then I'd probably go Oregon and Washington. You could flip-flop them each week, but I would say those are the best defenses in the Pac-12 right now. But you don't have the same type of confidence where it's going to be like, yep, we're going to win the Natty like you did last year. Like the team was so good. Like there's a lot of flaws in Alabama and Georgia that have gotten exposed this year. Like no one is winning like impressively. You're not winning by 50. You're not winning by 30. You're not blowing out teams that are ranked. Like I said, a lot of the games are like nitty gritty. Like, like you're scraping by at the fucking very end, barely, That's what makes people think that, maybe, and the SEC could still win it, but I'm just saying, like, if the Big Ten or Pac-12 were to win it this year, I don't know if anyone would really be that surprised because those conferences have played better. Well, if it's Georgia-Bama, Georgia will win because Alabama's dog shit. They're not good. Like, even though Georgia might not be as good as they were the last 2 years, they're better than Bama this year. At least from the games that I've watched. Milroe ain't it. You got a good quarterback, that's one thing, but you got to be able to have the O-line, the defense, everything has to be lined up. And still, when we say, oh, Alabama's not good, they still only have, like almost a pristine record. Like, oh, Alabama's not good. How many losses do they have? Like one or two? It's like they still are one of the top teams in the nation, but they just don't feel like they are natty worthy to me. Georgia's more natty worthy than Bama. Like, if Bama won it all, that would be the most shocking thing on planet Earth. I don't think anyone thinks that would happen. But the rankings are Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington, Oregon. So watch out. Oregon, Washington, Florida State, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia. It's either going to be Big Ten, Pac-12, and we'll see if Florida State from the ACC is Fugazi or not. Florida State got a pretty good team too. Yeah, but they look like dog shit all year if you've watched their games. I mean, you got Texas, Alabama, Penn State, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss all at 7-1. Mizzou, Louisville, right? But again, there's a difference on like who you're playing. You could have a 7-1 record if you're playing a bunch of dog shit. It's like, who are you playing? And obviously the Pac-12 has got some of the best players in this upcoming draft from our conference. So it's kind of nice that we're actually getting some pub, with our quarterbacks and our players. And then finally, when we get the pub, oh, bye-bye Pac-12. Like, this is the last year. Oregon, Washington, they looking pretty good. Florida State, Michigan, Ohio State. But even with Michigan and Ohio State, they look a little suspect to me. You know what I'm saying? They look a little sus, like just like Bama and Georgia. Like, I know they're good, but it just feels like if you get a good performance from an underdog, they're going to lose. Whatever that matchup may be. Washington has a great game from Michael Penix Jr., and he throws for 3 to 5 touchdowns. He could beat anybody in the country. You know what I'm saying? They got NFL receivers. They're good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it may come down to whatever, whoever has the best NFL quarterback might end up, being the team that wins the Natty this year. $30-7. Thank God for Mr. Williams coming through. Same thing, Mr. Williams, and A guy, David Goldstein coming through in the clutch too. Megan, appreciate you guys. Sarah. It all starts with one person. Yeah. But there's a lot of quarterbacks that are better. Pac-12's got them, man. And even some of the quarterbacks that aren't even being talked about are like sleepers too. Like, you don't even hear anybody talking about like Ugalele from Oregon State, the transfer from Clemson. If a Cameron Rising was healthy, you know what I mean? He's a stud. Hopefully he comes back next year. And if he comes back next year, Utah will be pretty solid. But again, we're going to have the transfer from this conference that doesn't exist anymore to there. So, and then Utah went to the Big 12, right? So what's the Big 12 look like now? So we got Big 12, and then we're going to have 2 super conferences with the SEC and then the Big 10 that will eventually both have 16 teams in them. So, and then at some point, the Big 12 and the ACC have to merge, and then you're going to have, whatever, the Big ACC or whatever, how you name it, and then you're going to have 3 super conferences instead of having, some of these other little ones. Yeah, but you don't got no Stetson Bennett anymore. It's different. Oh wow, look at you. Yeah, 149. Who the hell are you playing? They still got Nick Chubb and Justin Jefferson in. You're playing someone that quit already. Team Tiller. Well, whoever the fuck is Tiller doesn't even give a shit because he's got fucking Chubb and Jay Jetta just sitting there. Motherfucker gave up like 2 weeks in. Oh, I'm done. But you did put up a lot of points. So if you would have played anybody that actually was playing, you would have probably beat them. That's a good score. How many leagues are you doing, Shep? I know I saw that. What's your record in that league? Well, shit, if you're playing a bunch of people that decided to quit after week 2, I would hope that you're doing number 1. You beat the number 1 ranked guy? Nice. Hell yeah, bro. 4? You're crazy. See, sometimes when you do too many leagues, you don't have focus. I only do 1. I give everything to, that I have in just 1 league. I don't even do 2. Because I already spend 4 hours a day on the app spying on all of your guys' fucking teams and looking at the wire. We're on week 8, and I've made 86 acquisitions, which is probably 80 more than anyone else on planet Earth. 30-7 Chargers. Going long, going deep, and complete. He's the only one that quit. I hate when people quit. You know what's awesome? When Patrick Mahomes puts up a 5 in fantasy for you. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate that. Or Kaimi Fireburn puts up 1 for my kicker. Thanks a lot, fucker. Montgomery and Jay Jetta just sitting there injured, collecting dust. And now with Brock Purdy struggling and whatnot, the Kirk Cousins of the Niners next year is in full effect if he can recover from that injury and if they can get him cheap. But again, now with that Achilles, who knows how long it's going to take for him to rehab. So now that Kirk Cousins, he was never going to re-sign with Minnesota. But now the dream of going to San Fran, since Brock Purdy's getting kind of shitty, obviously he's, he really relies on that defense to carry him. And if they wanted to possibly make a change next year, it can't be Cousins now because now you already tore your Achilles. It's week 8. Who knows when you're going to be healthy? Utah, Arizona State, and Colorado are in the Big 12. California, Stanford, and SMU. Oklahoma and Texas are going to the SEC. BYU, Cincinnati, Houston. They just got people randomly. They just threw a dart at a fucking U.S. map, and they're like, "All right, BYU, all right, fuck it, Cincinnati." Like they're not even close to each other. Colorado, Texas Tech, fuck it. 5-2, 6-2. There you go. I'm 6-2 as well. But I'll tell you what, not many people would be 6-2 if they had Jay Jetta and Montgomery, their wide receiver 1 and their RB1 out. I mean, that's rough, dude. And that's like 50 to 60 points every week that I'm missing on. You can't replace that. BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston. Terrible. Nice hit. It's funny, I haven't ordered from any of the food apps in so long. They send me messages every day. We miss you. Here's some free money or free credit or whatever. He's like, get fat and order this food. It's like, nope, can't do it. Like steamed vegetables, rice, yakisoba, just eating healthy. It's changed my life, man. I know, no shit. I know if someone in the league didn't have 10, I could have some fucking better RBs as well. The Jake in last year did the same fucking shit. That had 10 running backs, didn't even give a shit about any other position, but literally had all running backs on the bench. So it was 9 running backs rostered. So no one else could have a running back. But it is what it is. I mean, that's the strategy that some people have, Even if some of them are injured and whatnot, but then you just got to hope that you got 2 wide receivers that can put up 10 to 20 points, preferably 15 to 20 on top of all those running backs. So that way you can do RB1, RB2, and flex like I normally do. That's my normal strategy, but I like to be able to have 2 defenses, 2 kickers. I want to make sure I'm looking ahead to the next week, and I'm making sure that I'm setting myself up for success, not just having 1 kicker and 1 defense. Derwin James with a pick, stiff arming little boys out there. Yeah. It's because they're garbage without Aaron Rodgers anymore. You know, like I said, they don't have that same type of vibe and flow. And offensive line isn't good either. You know, it's like it's one thing, you know, it shows you like Rodgers and Devontae Adams hid a lot of the weaknesses by putting up like 35 points a game. So it's like you didn't really see a lot of the weaknesses until you got later in the season where they got exposed with like shitty special teams or they got exposed with like not able to stop the run, you know, like against the Niners, against the Bucks, you know, and then going against the Bucks again and the Niners again. You know, it's like when you put up 30 to 35 with Aaron Rodgers, you will smoke out. So and you hide some of those weaknesses. But then if you got a guy like Jordan Love's booty ass, you know, that can only get you, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 points here and there, then you get really fucking exposed, you know? Then even the running backs can't even do their thing either. But yeah, you can only rely on Mixon, true. But it also shows you, even with the Tua and Tyreek, right? Like it'll hit most of the time, but there's going to be weeks where they both don't hit, and then you lose. You know, it's good when you have both of those guys in there, but also it'll help you win sometimes too if they both go off. You know, and you stole Stevenson from me after I dropped him. He had a couple good games for you, then he came back to reality. And then the New England defense is also dog shit too. You usually pick that up every year, and this is the first year where they're not even worth rostering. You know, you used to bank on New England defense getting you 20 points a game last couple of years, and they ain't doing that shit no more. And Puka's numbers have kind of flatlined too. But at least you got Tua and Tyreek. But yeah, the running backs are very thin for most people. Like for me, I had fucking Rashad White and Daryl Henderson. So I think I got like, you know, a little bit there. But then obviously I'm not getting enough in other places. Like I need to have that big 30, 40 point game out of somebody. And, you know, the only guy that would normally do that for me is Montgomery or Jay Jetta, and they're both on IR. So, or injured. But oh boy, he's got Barkley, Brees Hall, Mostert, Swift, Ford, Kyron Williams, and James Conner. Jesus Christ. Like all of those guys are good. All of those guys could put up like 15 to 30 points. Not like, oh, 5 points here, 8 points here. Literally, like every running back that's rostered could put up like 20 to 40 points. That's tough. But obviously, that's his strategy to win the championship or at least get there. He's banking on those three running backs of, you know, getting like 90 points or close to 80 or 90 out of three guys. And hell, if you get 80 points out of three guys or 70, yeah, you're probably going to win as long as the other six don't shit the bed. And he's got Jalen Hurts at quarterback too. So Bajan, no flu, huh? I know he fucked everybody last week in fantasy where everyone thought he was going to play and he didn't. And they didn't even tell anybody. Fucking coach kept it a secret. He's like, shh, no one will notice. And then everyone had Bajan in fantasy as 0. What the fuck? I knew you were coming into the room. Yeah, we want some of your running backs. Good win today for you. I wish I could say the same after Patrick Mahomes gave me a 5. I got absolutely obliterated. Bo King money is projected for 175. God damn. 41 out of CD Lamb for him, 25 from Jamar, 25 from ETN. ETN is on a fucking tear. Yeah, because I have to be able to move around. I can't trust Moody because he started doing dog shit. Then I had Maher, and then they cut him, and he was a top 2 kicker. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Sit there with nothing? Then I got to go with statistics. And then Fairbairn, and I got fucking Hopkins. But Fairbairn gave me a goddamn 1. I got to be able to look. I got to be able to cover my ass. I just can't roll with one guy. You know, if I can't, if one guy starts doing shitty, you know, I just can't stick. I would have stuck with Maher all year if he didn't miss a couple of those kicks. I mean, he was number 2 kicker. He had 2 games of 2, and then like 6 games of like 10 to 15. I was like, yes, I got my kicker. But then if they fucking cut him, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Roster him in free agency and to get a 0? You know? Yeah, and he's got Trevor Lawrence too. So if Trevor is going with ETN, that could be like 50, 60 points right there. So, it's definitely his peak week. Trevor, ETN, Gibbs, especially with Montgomery now being hurt, Jamar, Thielen, that's a sleeper, Kincaid, CD, Miami D, Butker. He's got a nice squad. Now we got 4 teams tied at 6-2. And then he's got Devontae Smith, Pitts, DJ Moore once Justin Fields comes back. Yeah. His team is looking good. Oh yeah. Okay, so if we're adding extra defenses and kickers, you tell me who the fuck I'm supposed to pick up on the wire that's going to get me points at running back. Well, Najee Harris? Fuck no. Like, you tell me who I'm supposed to pick up. Demercado, Damian Pierce, who you dropped, who's dog shit. Najee getting 10. Roschon Johnson with a 3. Singletary with a. Who the fuck am I supposed to pick up? I'm supposed to go get fucking Royce Freeman with a 10 or a Demercado with an 8.9. There's nothing there because you have them all. So there's a reason why we have 2 kickers and 2 defenses because you got them all. There's no one I can fucking pick up. There's nobody there. Of course I would take 1 kicker and 1 defense if there was someone worthy. There's nobody there. I mean, what's the best option? Najee and Royce Freeman getting 10? That's dog shit. That's the only thing available. Nothing left. It's thin. Trust me, everyone in the league would have, not had 2 defenses or 2 kickers or other options if there was others available. But we'll see what happens moving forward. I mean, we got 4 or 5 teams that definitely could come out on top this year. I mean, we got 4 teams at 6-2. This is the most competitive I've seen the league at this stage of the season, probably ever since we started doing this league. I don't think there's been a league where we've seen 4 teams kind of all equal. Some have injuries, some don't, but it literally could go to anybody. Like, I really think that too. Like, even if you're the number 1 seed, I mean, the number 4 team could end up winning. So. Yeah, because I look ahead. Sometimes you just can't sit with 1 defense all year, and like sometimes you might be able to have another defense that you could pick up, but sometimes they're not there. It's not like kickers and defenses are great. Like, look at the numbers on the wire. They're terrible. And then if there is someone that is good, it's probably not a defense or kicker you feel comfortable enough picking up. You know what I mean? But I got the most points scored, and I got the least points, given up. So obviously my strategy is working. You got your strategy, I got my strategy. I mean, if I didn't have, a couple of my main pieces, my wide receiver 1 and my RB 1 injured, I'd be in better shape. And sometimes I will carry one kicker and 1 defense, but then I got to be able to make sure I have something worthy, there. It's all about value. Fantasy is value. You got to be able to look what value is there. And the wire is thin. Denver defense, I know. And I already knew Mahomes was going to play bad, because they already said he had a flu last night. But I didn't know he was going to play that fucking bad. Yeah, I know, because I already saw you drop Cleveland Brown D for Detroit. I already fucking spy on all your shit. I already know the moves you're going to make before you fucking make them in your brain. I already saw what you did. I would assume that that would be a smart move. They're at home, so I would assume that they'll win and they'll defense will play good, even though they put up a -7 last week. But they're going against the Raiders at home, so you should be good there. Ooh, big hit. First down, Bears. Yeah, but when you have big injuries to your running backs and you got fucking 14 of them, it doesn't matter. Oh, you got 5 running backs injured? Oh, it's all right. I still got 9 there that I can choose from for my RB1, RB2, and flex. You're fine. It's like it doesn't even matter because you have so many. Like the average person has like 5 running backs or less, not closer to 10. And not only that, you got all the good ones. It's not like you have a shitty player on your roster. Every player at running back that you have can score 15 to 40 points on any given fucking weekend. Like literally, there's not one dog shit player on your team. They're all good. So even though you got some hurt, it doesn't matter because you got another 8 or 9 to choose from. Right? Come on, man. You know it's true. I know because I look at the numbers that you put up every week and I look at your bench. I look to see what you're doing. I spy on everyone's shit. Your team is amazing. You got a lot of good players. You think it's COVID? Reflect? You think it's COVID? And they're just not reporting it as COVID, but it's COVID? But one thing though, besides all your running backs, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Michael Penix. If Michael Penix Jr. deserves the Heisman and they give it to him, fine. But I don't want him to have the Heisman curse. I want him to be great in the NFL. But I really, really, really do hope that Washington or Oregon can get to the playoff, and hopefully maybe we can play each other again in the Pac-12 championship if it lines up like that. And then if you guys end up, representing the Pac-12, try to go all the way. I think it would be so sweet to see Washington be the national champion. Penix Jr. wins the Heisman and you guys get the Natty. How crazy would that be? It'd be like 1991 all over again, except it wouldn't be a split championship. It would be all Huskies. You do. You already know. You're like, oh, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I'm always making moves, and I'm always looking ahead in the schedule. I always look like 3 weeks ahead. All right, okay, I got to buy with this guy. Okay, this matchup on my defense is shitty. I got to get another defense a week ahead of time because if I wait on the wire and someone picks them up, then I'm going to be stuck with what other dog shit is left. Yeah, Reflect ain't dropping nobody. I'll be fine as long as my guys get healthy. If Jay Jetta and Montgomery get healthy, I'll be fine. But if they don't, I'm fucked. I can still make the playoffs, but I'm not going to be able to beat anybody unless I get extremely lucky or if I keep making moves and find the right combination. Bears trying to run the tush push with like one good offensive lineman. I'm always 10th on wire every time. I'm always last pretty much every week. Unless like that one week where I had all my guys on a bye, and that was the only week that I didn't make a move. Just because I couldn't afford to make a move. Everyone that I had that was on a bye or that was injured, I couldn't drop them. It's like, I can't drop Montgomery. I can't drop Jay Jetta. I can't drop Mark Andrews. I can't drop Amon Ra. Like, I can't drop Laporta. It's like sometimes you got to keep these guys on there, and then you just have to do with what you can. Not everyone has the luxury of just dropping some player. So yeah, your risk if Hurts goes down. Mine is if Mahomes goes down too. Yeah. I think our teams are pretty even. We're pretty close. Our defense is really starting to get into high gear, and maybe we're a better team than Washington now. But you're right. Our coach is an idiot. So, and that's a big part of football. And you got a shitty play caller and a shitty decision maker. But honestly, I love Michael Penix Jr. even more than Bo Nix. So it's like if Michael Penix Jr. wins the Heisman and then they win the Natty, or he doesn't win the Heisman and they give it to McCarthy or whatever, even though I don't know if he deserves it, and then they win the Natty and they go all the way. I know Michael Penix Jr. doesn't care about the hardware. He doesn't care about the Heisman. He cares about team. So if you guys can win the Natty, you best believe your boy will be rooting. And I'm going to actually skip the Duck game next week against Cal, and I'm going to actually do Washington versus USC instead, because that's going to be a bigger matchup, and I'll be rooting for the Huskies to win. So, but I'm really, really missing Montgomery and Jay Jetta's production. That 50 points every week, like guaranteed. Like, it's like Jay Jetta on a bad game gets like 26. Like, fuck, I need that. But now with Kirk Cousins out, now I'm fucked. Like, who the hell is going to be throwing Kirk? Who the hell is going to be throwing to Jay Jetta if he does come back? Like, who's a goddamn quarterback? So I'm probably not winning the championship this year unless I have everything, fall in my lap like at the right time. Like if I have a bunch of green matchups in the playoffs, and then for whatever reason the guys that I'm playing they shit the bed, and I have a really strong week one, then maybe I advance. But there's like 4 or 5 teams that legitimately could win the championship this year. Very competitive, and we've never had 4 teams at 6-2 this late in the season. Never. Out of like the 5-6 years that I've done this on the channel, we've never had it this close. This is the closest it's ever been. Do they do it based off record or north and south? Because remember how they used to do it, like one team from the north would play one team in the south. So it would be like Oregon or Washington playing against USC and Utah. Now is it just like best record? Because then if it's best record, it'll be Ducks and Huskies. And then where do they play the game this year? Is it going to be whoever has the best record? Or is it going to be like neutral ground like Vegas or Rose Bowl? Like, these are the questions that need to be answered. Tyreek pacing for like 2,200 yards almost. It wouldn't surprise me if he breaks 2,000 yards. I mean, if there was a receiver that was going to do it, it would be him. Or Jay Jetta if he actually gets a fucking good quarterback. Sad on how many quarterbacks got hurt today. But the surprise was fucking Will Levis's garbage ass. I guess he's not garbage. Motherfucker threw for 4 touchdowns, but let me see you do it again. DeAndre Hopkins, 3 tutties. So maybe they should have started Will Levis from the very start. They fucked up on the Malik. They fucked up on Tannehill, hanging him on, to that roster too long. But maybe Will Levis is maybe a top 16 quarterback. I mean, 4 touchdown passes. How many quarterbacks have done that this year? Only a couple. So that was impressive. Record starting this year. Well, good. Because obviously Utah and USC are not worthy. Yep. And where's the game being played this year? The team that has the best record, or is it neutral like at Rose Bowl or in Vegas? Someone needs to look that up. But, we're going to beat USC. The trap game for us is Oregon State. We should be able to win that barely. And then we'll get Huskies and Ducks in the Pac-12 championship, and we'll see if we can get revenge on y'all. And then I wonder if the scenario happens again, if Dan Lanning would be smart, or if he'd play the game the same way. Has Dan Lanning learned his lesson that Michael Penix Jr. isn't going to throw picks, and if we actually get a lucky pick on him, that we kick the field goal, or if he's just going to go for it on 4th down like an idiot, just like he did in the first game when we lost? That'll be interesting. It's in Vegas. So neutral ground. Too bad we couldn't have Oregon and Washington in the playoff. That would be awesome. Like Oregon and Washington, and then we both go against like Ohio State or Michigan or Florida State or Georgia. If both of our teams were in there, that would be sweet. Hopkins, 34. Yeah, but you murked a lot of your guys. You did awesome. You do awesome every week. And honestly, how many of your starters are out for the year? Like starting players in fantasy, because that's a big part of having a good record. If you have more of the guys that you drafted that started, depending on who you would get on the wire after, but if you have like, starters that, that are almost irreplaceable, and if those guys get hurt, then obviously that'll determine how good the team is and how good you are as a fantasy player to make up those points, or if you fail at that point. December 1st. Ooh, baby. Yeah, so it's going to be Ducks and Huskies. Even though if the Huskies have a couple, so-so games, it's not like the Huskies or Ducks are going to have defense like USC where they're going to let fucking an Arizona team put up 49 and barely win by 1 point. Our defenses actually are good, so we'll be fine. Jalen, Saquon, Brees Hall, Waddle, Nico, Kelsey, Mostert, Detroit D, Aubrey, Hopkins, Kirk, Swift, Ford, Johnson, Goddard, Williams, and Connor just sitting there waiting for you to be able to put them in. uh, it makes you kind of wonder, though, when Kyren comes back, if he'll actually be able to take the job back or if Darrell Henderson will be the guy. Obviously got Darrell, Rolls Royce, and Kyren, but if they have three that are effective, then Kyren's value is going to go down. And if they have three guys that are doing decent stuff, then if it's a three-headed horse, then Kyren's value goes out the door because then he's just going to be one of three. But James the Terminator Connor's value will go up when he comes back if he's healthy, because then at that point Kyler will be back, and then numbers should go up. Fuck, man, wish I had Adam Thielen in fantasy. I just never thought that he would play that good. Like I figured he would get targets, but I didn't think that he'd be putting up like 15 to 30 points. I thought he'd be putting up like 8 to 14, not 15 to 30. Jesus Christ. If I had ESP and knew that Bryce was only going to go to Adam Thielen, I definitely would have drafted him. But that was a huge shocker. Final score, Chargers 30, Bears 13. The battle of the bads. But if Kyren ends up getting the number one spot and then the other two guys fall back, then then it's like you got so many running backs, they're just coming out of your ears, man. Yeah, but if you go running back heavy, it really doesn't matter as long as you got two guys that can hit. You got Waddle, you got Nico, right? And then you got Christian Kirk typically. But if Hopkins plays well, you could always plug him in. But if you got Kirk and you got Waddle, and that's who you typically have been going with, you got two guys that hit almost every single week. You know what I mean? So even though you don't have a whole lot of depth behind those guys, it doesn't matter because your running backs and your quarterback are so good. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We will see. All right, I got to go take my dog on a walk. It'll be our fourth walk today. No one gets treated better on planet Earth than my dog. So I got to go and give her some exercise. And I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Congratulations to all of you goats that came through in the fantasy this week. I wish I could be one of those people, but Folk King Money just fucked me up, man. And he might be the front runner, obviously with Reflect. And I'm going to be sitting in third or fourth place just to try to crawl into the playoffs and then maybe look for an upset as a lower seed. But you guys are awesome. Mr. Williams, David Goldstein, Sarah, Megan, and a few others. Appreciate everyone that came through, that donated, commented, shared. You guys are awesome. Shep, you're a goat. Reflect, you're a goat. Matt, you're a goat. Sarah, you're a goat. Finley, you're a goat. All you guys are awesome. And then I will be back tomorrow morning, I'm going to go to Petco early and then get stuff for Paisley. And then I will be doing reaction videos, probably starting around 10 or 11 in the morning, all the way up until Monday Night Football, and we'll end up doing the Raiders and the Lions. But we also will follow the Rangers and the Diamondbacks World Series game number 3. But we'll do the NFL game as the primary. And you guys are awesome. I love you and I appreciate you. Shep with a $2 dono. Every dollar counts. I love you and I appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Let me get you a Falcon photo or two here before I go. I appreciate you. I can't just leave with a dono like that. So let me throw up something. You got something specific that you want to see? That's all good. I mean, you got the number one donation on the channel of 1,300, and I don't know if there's going to be anyone on planet Earth that's going to beat that. There's a few people that might consider up to that, but again, you are the king. So reflect with the tour. Appreciate you. Let me know what photos you guys want to see. I'll stay on for like 5 more minutes and let me know what you guys want to see. Just pick like a player and I'll throw up a couple photos for you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Reflect. All the running backs. You want one? You're never going to get one. And I'm glad Reflect joined the league. I knew he was going to be good too. Like as soon as we had Reflect in the league, I was like, I bet he ends up finishing in the top 4. And my prediction was correct. Appreciate you, both of y'all. All right, let me try to find a Falcon photo. And what do you want for Seahawks? Big win, Reflect. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that. I watched pretty much that whole game. Trap game, Browns D was pretty good, but you guys came through in the clutch, and now you guys are in first place of the NFC West, and you might win it. If the Niners keep fucking going downhill, you guys might end up being the NFC West champs. How cool is that? Good. You know what's crazy? Before I even looked at the message, that's exactly who I pulled up. No lie. I was like, I have it in my bar right now. I put Bajan, and I was like, oh, see, ESP. That's creepy. I was thinking of one player to put up for you, and I was like, oh, I'll put up a Bajan, and that's who you said. My ESP is strong today, I guess. J Herb, my boy. No illness today. Now you just need to get Shedeur Sanders there in Atlanta, and then we're going to be really having a good time. Michael Penix Jr. to the Bucks, and Bajan having a quarterback with Shedeur Sanders, huh? Let's go. I'll show you one of my favorite players for the Hawks. A big contributor to the team. And on top of that, the defense. I've been watching a lot of Seahawk tape too, like with Witherspoon. I mean, he plays as I'm watching throughout the season, even though he started off slow. He plays like a throwback player, like an 80s, 90s, early 2000 player. Some people want to say Antoine Winfield, but I like everything that I'm seeing out of this defense. And believe it or not, the Seahawks actually have a defense. They actually are playing really, really well this year. And Boye Mafe, baby, a guy that just learned the football a few years ago, and it sometimes, you don't really know. Like we were very critical on the draft, right? We were like, oh, the Hawks. Last year's draft was great. This year, they might have fucked up. Me and Reflect were like, I don't know. This draft is kind of like iffy. And then now, as the season is progressing, it looks like they hit on this draft like they did on the last draft. So no, no trading. Trading is cheap because when people trade, then you always get that one person that's already out of it, and then they get rid of all their good players, and then one team has a stacked team. So yeah, no trades. You got to win by just being able to do it on your own. No trading in my league ever. No, no, no. A little bit of Bobo and Jackson Smith-Njigba and Bobo doing big things. How cool is that, man? Like everything is just coming up great. Like Niners are just shitting the bed, 3 losses in a row. Hawks are just, continuously putting their head down, winning 5 out of 6. And if they would have beat the Bengals, it would have been 6 in a row. It's crazy. Just a little bit more offensive line from, Hubbard and T-Rex, Trey Hendrickson, and you would have won that game. So Hawks is looking nice, man. And Jackson Smith-Njigba started off slow, but what happened? He had to wait for DK to get hurt to actually get a shot to prove himself. And now, instead of being like a quote unquote bust to some of these idiots because they didn't even want to give him a full season, now he's starting to be a game changer, just like my guy Bobo. How cool is that? Bobo, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Witherspoon, Boye Mafe. And I got to get a Witherspoon on here too before we leave. I can't leave without showing proper representation. We got to make sure we get at least one there. But I'm really liking how things are panning out for you guys. And like I said, you guys are going to win the division either this year or next year. And it looks very good, or maybe both years. Who knows? But the number one thing that impresses me the most is the defensive effort for the Hawks. That's why I feel that they can beat people this year. And you never know. Maybe the Hawks make the NFC Championship game this year. If you still have struggles with the Niners, what happens if we get Eagles Seahawks in the NFC Championship game? I know some people would say that's fucking crazy, but is it really? No, it's not. If they keep playing like this and the Niners start going downhill, the NFC South is trash. So if you only have to worry about the Eagles and that's it, who's to say that maybe they play the Niners and beat them, or they play the Falcons, Saints, or the Bucks, or they beat them, or they play the Cowboys and they beat them, right? Just saying. Appreciate you. Studs, this is my favorite right here. My favorite player this season for you guys. Besides, obviously, Witherspoon doing his big thing. It's not like I don't like offensive players, but guys that kind of come out of nowhere and really are a big contributor, like him and Jarran Reed. No one even knows who fucking Jarran Reed is, unless you're actually a Hawk fan or someone that fucking reads, But I try to pay attention to the league. So congratulations on that big fucking victory, man. That was sweet. Well, you guys are awesome. I love you. You guys are a bunch of fucking goats. And we had a good day today. Thank God to all the people that donated to make up for the 0 that we had yesterday. And I'll be back tomorrow with a shitload of reaction videos and the Raiders and the Lions tomorrow. You guys are great. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.